something else.
Uh-oh. Why? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got two of my look here, got two of my fellas on board with us this morning. Two of my fellas on board. I'm gonna tell you something. I look forward to these fellas, man. And I don't tell them a lot, so don't y'all tell them. But I really count on them a lot, man, to really keep everything going, man, to keep me going. Because these two here, boy, they ain't gonna let up on me. They ain't gonna let up on me. Y'all should have heard what we talked about before we went on. Because the tardiness this morning is strictly on me. It was my fault this morning. I couldn't get myself in order, and so it's certainly not on them. It's on me. So I take full blame for that. So I do apologize to each and every one of our viewers and listeners for the tardiness this morning. But I want to say good morning to my brothers from another mother. But we got the same father. Good morning, Captain Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Morning, Glow family. How are you?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Another blessed day to be alive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna start this thing off, man, and we do have a topic, but y'all know we start off with another thing that we talk about, and no yawning, no yawning allowed, no yawning allowed. Let me go ahead and say it, no yawning allowed. Somebody yawning this morning, we don't do that. But listen, I want to talk about this whole Piers Morgan situation that happened. Are y'all familiar with that?
I heard about it. He's
Piers
supposed to
Morgan.
be he's supposed to be upset because y'all insulted his heritage.
Yeah, that's part of it. And he's been defending, well, rightfully so. He's been defending the queen, and there's nothing wrong with that. But he's been attacking, what's the name, Markle. What's her name? How you say her name?
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. Yeah, he's been actually putting her down, talking bad about it, and everybody has been talking about it and dealing with the situation. But something came to a head on the talk yesterday with Cheryl Underwood. She's one of the hosts of the talk, as well as Sharon Osbourne, and those two had a conversation. I'm gonna play some of that for you, and I want to hear y'all input on what y'all think and what y'all hear in this exchange that they had. Give me 1 second. Let me get this set up here. Share the screen. Go here. Okay. Let me go here. All right. Let me see. We can do that. Okay. Now let me play it. Pull it back just a little bit.
Interview with Oprah. Throughout the conversation, Sharon became very defensive over her friendship with Pierce and even lashed out at Cheryl. Take a look.
I feel even like I'm about to be put in the electric chair because I have a friend who many people think is a racist, so that makes me a racist. And for me, at 68 years of age, to have to turn around and say, I ain't racist. What's it got to do with me? Okay, how can I be racist about anybody? How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
I tell
Well,
you,
what?
we'll be right
Well,
back.
what?
We have more topics, so don't go away.
And I think we should stop this. I will ask you again, Cheryl.
Yes.
I've been asking you during the break.
Right.
I'm asking you again. And don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me. This is the situation.
Yes.
You tell me where you have heard him say, educate me. Tell me when you have heard him say racist things. Educate me. Tell me.
It is not the exact words of racism. It's the implication and the reaction to it. To not want to address that because she is a Black woman and to try to dismiss it or to make it seem less than what it is. That's what makes it racist. But right now, I'm talking to a woman who I believe is my friend, and I don't want anybody here to watch this and say that we're attacking you for being racist. And for that, if I articulated
I think it's
anything,
too late. I think that
okay,
seed's already sown.
but that is why I'm saying for me. I'm saying for me. I thought I was asking a question about the perception for other people. That's why I prefaced it with, I've never heard you utter anything racist,
please, Cheryl,
but I have felt that Pierce was racist in his stance against Meghan Markle. And the last time he was on this show, I said as much. I said it when he was on this show.
And what was his answer to you?
He didn't feel that it was racist. He didn't feel that the racial statements that he was making were racist. But I was talking to him.
Okay, answer me this one, okay? Because I don't know. I don't understand. If he doesn't like someone, and I think this is for everybody who is born white, if Piers doesn't like someone and they happen to be black, does that make him a racist?
No.
That's a no.
No.
Right. So why can't it be he just doesn't like her? Why does it have to be racist?
It's almost like, oh, I'm sorry, Cheryl.
No, you go
it's
ahead.
almost like yesterday when you were talking, Mrs. O, it sounded like he was really upset about, what you were saying is a royalist. Like he is just so like deep into
he is.
honoring the crown and honoring, and do I agree with what he said? No, like you.
No, I don't
think
agree.
he should have walked off set? No. Do I think he should have sat there and listened to his other co-hosts like we're doing right now and having a conversation and learning from each other? I think that's what corrective evolution is about.
Okay, let me stop this. Okay, let me see here. I can stop that, and then we go back here. And I want to hear you all's heart, man. Leonard, what did you hear in that whole exchange? What did you hear?
I heard Sharon Osbourne tell the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard other people give their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Racism is not an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Okay, now when you say explain to the people that's listening now, when you heard her tell her truth and
Right.
everybody else give their opinion, what is the difference in what they did? Because
It
everybody
sounds more nationalist more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not about he is a Brit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are very infatuated with the monarchy. That is their country.
Did you hear some of the things that he was saying about the young
No,
lady?
I didn't hear anything he said about Meghan Markle.
Yes, and that's what I think where Cheryl was coming from the comments that he made. And I had another clip where he was actually him and the show that he was on that he walked off from. The guy, another co-host, but I pull that one up so you can see that one as well. He kind of called him out. He said, "Man, look here, man, you've been attacking this girl for so long." He said, "Y'all had a relationship, and the relationship, she called it off or whatever. So maybe they had some kind of thing going between themselves, and she called it off." And he said, "From that point, you have been bashing to the point
So hold on a minute, because I don't follow this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Piers Morgan actually had a relationship with Meghan Markle in the past.
That's what the
then I would completely disqualify him as being racist, period.
But my thing is this right here. What happened was this. He said that since that thing was over, since it ended, and I understand your viewpoint, but since that thing was over, he said you have been bashing her.
Mm-hmm.
It almost sounded like a reversal of a woman scorned, like he's the one that's scorned in that situation. So I can see where you're going with that, but some of the things that he say about her, man, is I was like, man, whoa.
It ain't no different than what someone else would say about a boyfriend or a girlfriend they don't like.
It got so bad that he stood up in the middle of that conversation, Piers Morgan, and walked off the set and quit his job.
I believe so, because I understand that. Look at how his ex-girlfriend came up.
Wow.
You ain't never seen a black woman lose her mind
Mm-hmm.
over the woman you got after her.
Mm-hmm.
She may burn your house down.
Mm.
She may cut you up, call the police on you to get you locked up, do anything to make your life a living hell. If she still would love to have been in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't judge him if he ain't never did nothing outside of this. And this just happens to be the one single issue where he got upset about. It ain't race.
Well,
Race been here. He could. Chris Morgan is an arrogant individual. I've never really cared for him.
Yeah, what Leonard? If you follow him at all, this is not the only racial situation that he's been in. This is the one that this is more light is being shed on this. But this ain't the only one. But that's neither here nor there. We actually talking about this situation. Badger, what's on your heart?
Man, the double standard is what gets me. We're always talking about a white person doing it. How about the black people that are acting a fool on freaking TV and all these other people?
Okay, we had the example of that. Give us an example of what you're talking about now.
How about all these rap singers that are using these words that do nothing but spread hate and continuing to use words that are not healthy?
Okay, what words are we talking about?
The N word, the B word.
Okay, with that,
how they treat people and so on and so on. There's nothing wrong with that, but because someone got all upset over a woman leaving them, there's a problem with that.
No, I never said there's nothing wrong with that. I never said there was nothing wrong with that. But what I will say is the example that you're giving me right now is that could be true as black on black and stuff like that. But this is something that's different. This is two different races talking about each other in some kind of way. So I think that example is a little different. It's not really the same. I agree with what you're saying that that is.
I need you to explain to me how it's not the same.
How could it be the same? When you talk about if you got three white people talking about each other in a room, that's one thing. But if you bring a black person in that room and have that black person talk about two of the white people in the room, you don't see where that's different.
No, it's not different.
It is different. It is.
What is the conversation?
Now you pull them back. Now you're adding to what I'm saying.
Like I said, you asked me about Pierce Morgan and the tape you just shown, right?
I asked you about that, but now I'm talking about his and what he said. He brought something different into the equation. He said that it's a double standard. I'm trying to understand what double standard are we talking about.
That's what I'm trying to explain. And what Leonard's bringing up, it seems like we're on the same page.
Except for I don't use the word double standard because it's a cliche. I don't care for the word double standard. It's irrational and illogical somehow.
Okay.
All that's beautiful. All that's beautiful. But if y'all on the same page, that's a beautiful thing. I'm glad that y'all on the unison on that. But I'm trying to understand now. So help me understand why is it a double standard?
Are you going to do it, Badger?
I'm trying to get the word. I need help with words. I know this is one of the topics me and you've talked about, and I'm still struggling to get it out of my head.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, when you say black people using the N word and stuff like that, that's wrong. They shouldn't do it, and we had conversation on that as well. I agree with that, but I don't agree with that. That's a double standard because when you have, like I said again, if you have then you have three black people in a room and they're using the N word and they're talking about this and they're talking about that, and then have one of our Caucasian brothers come in the room. Hold on. Let me get this phone line. DK Media Group. This is Morning Glow. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Rico calling from Anderson. I'll be on live in a few minutes.
Okay, good deal. Rico, did you hear the clip that I played this morning?
Yeah, I heard, and there's probably another clip you need to play. You know what I'm saying? Pierce, I don't think Pierce is being racist, but to address what Badger was talking about, the trending topic the past couple of days hasn't been about a rapper using N-words. The trending topic the past couple of days has been Oprah Winfrey's interview, and Raheem chose to address that. So that's the reason why the conversation ain't about double standards and rappers using the N-word, because that ain't the controversy. The controversy is the fact that this woman just revealed that the royal family treated her child and their own family member like an outsider, and the world doesn't know about that. And this same royal family is one that gets a week's worth of coverage. Anything they do in the United States, when they touch down over here, they overwhelm the news circles. So now here it is. We got royal family news. It needs to dominate the news circles, and it ain't gonna change. Just so happen to be racist. Wow. Well. Oh well. Deal with it. Because not addressing it and talking about a rapper ain't gonna get rid of the history that most people don't know existed. She's telling her story. Most people don't know that this went on, that it could have existed. Now it's something that needs to be revealed, because we need to quit glorifying foreigners anyway. Well, why do we even glorify those people over here? Because, now, you might want all the double standard or whatever, but that's another white supremacy issue if you ask me. Why we always got to put them on a pedestal? They don't have anything to do with our country. We don't observe no monarchy. So why we have them on such a pedestal in our media circles? That should be a question too. But us discussing race or Raheem bringing that race thing up, that shouldn't irk anybody, because that's been dominating the news wave. Raheem just happened to bring it up on his station this morning. Now, I guess when a rapper has a situation come up, he might discuss that rapper.
Leonard?
I mean, I haven't changed. You can't say double standard if the standard is not the same. It's not a double standard then. Double standard is a cliche for people to get out of actually discussing what the issue is. To just say, oh, I think it's a double standard. No, it's a double standard. However, Piers Morgan is, in my opinion, and what you just talked about in the clips and things that I have heard and seen, is more nationalist. It's his opinion. Plus, he has the background of having a relationship with this individual. He's at liberty to say a lot and to feel a lot of different ways. So, but to sit here and claim every conversation as being and call somebody like Sharon Osbourne's appeal, for instance, she's not a racist, but y'all probably gonna call her one.
No, I never would. I never
would.
But,
but some people are like that. That's what she's mentioning.
But my thing is this right here. If I had an ill with somebody, I'm not gonna come on if say if I was in a relationship with somebody and we split up, I'm not gonna use this platform as a source to belittle, badger, and talk bad about this person every chance I get. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. And for that reason, and that's why the other host that was on the show got fed up with it, man. He got fed up and he said, look, I'm gonna pull that clip up, I'm gonna play that too. But he got fed up and he told him that what he was doing was wrong. What you're doing was wrong, man. You bashed this woman, and the guy went so far to say the show the day before, he said from 6:30 until 7 o'clock, he said it was hard to watch because that's all you did. You bashed and belittled this lady. And so my thing is, I would not use this platform. This is not for that.
Okay, but but we're not talking about your platform. We're talking about what Piers Morgan has done throughout his career. Is this the first time you've seen Piers Morgan? Piers Morgan, I've never really cared for the guy pretty much, because sometimes I don't care for arrogant British attitude sometimes, but it has never had anything to do with race. He's just, I just never cared for how he asked questions when he was interviewing people or what have you, and things like that on his show. This is the why a lot of times his shows don't work anymore. But I watch other shows from Britain, interview shows, where there's several Americans on all the time or what have you. So when I'm watching them, I'm very objective. They hated Diana just as much.
Yeah.
They talked about her just as bad. Meghan is an outsider. You need to get familiar with the jargon and how their culture. That's how they are. I mean, to have Diana's situation before this shouldn't make this such a big deal. The big deal is the fact that most Americans do not realize the history and the culture of these people. So there's always, this is an issue before this woman got married when it comes to race. We know the racial undertones. We've seen the racial family and what they have, the royal family and particular members, like I guess that one Duchess or what have you, with her wearing of the one particular pin that they found offensive.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, Leonard. Back to what Rico said. Why do you think they get so much shine on this side? Why do you think they get so much shine?
Because at one point they colonized almost the whole world. They've been the family that has sought the destruction over the entire world. I mean, that's why they're different. You're not trying to conquer the world.
But aren't you the same one that says, I'm not worried about yesterday, I'm more worried about today?
Right, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about them.
Well, I ask you the question, Leonard. My thing is, why do you think they get so much shine? Because you say,
did you see where they live?
Okay.
Did you see how they live?
I know how I live.
Don't you think that's very attractive for the media?
I think people that's caught up on the materialistic type of situations, I probably so to them, but I don't care nothing.
I mean, we can pretend that. I mean, the media does not have your agenda. They have an agenda, and they follow that agenda pretty much to the T. Now, if you want to sit up and watch Billy Graham them all day, you can do that too. But everybody else doing something else.
Okay, that's fine. But like I said, my choice is not to get caught up on the materialistic thing, because I think that's what's destroying so much of our society that we live in today, the materialistic, and somebody's so caught up on that dollar bill, and that's the driving force. Go ahead, Rico.
You know what I also think it is? Self-consciousness, because America fought to get away from that monarchy. So I'm not saying they're supposed to be lifelong enemies. Maybe they are allies, but they are not supposed to be worshiping and pedestalizing the same people that they were getting away from, the same system. So you know what I really think unconsciously America loves about the monarchy?
What's that?
The lily whiteness. The pure whiteness. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of glory in having all that, those riches and that privilege. That's another thing they like too. Who wouldn't love to be the royal family, the king? You know what comes with that? All kind of privilege you get just because. So now, Meghan, she's about to marry into the royal family. Oh man, she's like, I mean, they made such a big issue out of people that we were once enemies with in a system that we didn't agree with. But now all of a sudden we cherish it. Why? Because white America they love the idea of that pure whiteness and that privilege that goes along with the royal family, subconsciously. I don't think everybody realizes it on the surface. That's what they cherish, because some black people, they cherish just the power and the privilege. But white people, a lot of them, deep down inside, they also like the fact that they know ain't nothing but a lot of supposedly pure whiteness in that. Those people marry their cousins.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it in the bloodline, and they have historically married within the family. Some of those kings and stuff that you see pictures of were born people, but history won't tell you that. They might tell you of a few deformities they had, but they won't tell you they were incest babies. So I mean, that I feel like that's the reason why it's glorified. Each person has their own individual reason, and then along with the programming from the media that has another agenda to make somebody look like they're just beyond reach. But when it gets to Piers Morgan, I'm gonna send you an interview again later on. I really don't think he's racist. If he is racist, it's not just it's not blatant, but he introduced this woman to the prince. And when he told her the prince was in there, he said he did an interview. I'm gonna send it to you, because I think this sort of proves what his problem is with Meghan. He thinks Meghan is an opportunist. She's a clout chaser, and I felt the same way after she did her family the way she did. So he said that he had been very well acquainted with Meghan. They were pretty good friends, right? She came over and they met at a party. And where they knew each other, they was talking at the party, and he told her, well, Princess Harry is here. Oh, I'd like to meet him. She knew that he knew Prince Harry, so he introduced him. He said the minute he introduced him, he never heard from her again after all those years. And she was no major star. She was just somebody that had a little access, and people recognized that she was an actress. But she wasn't no big dog.
Yeah.
But when she met him, Piers said she didn't get back in touch with him no more, didn't speak or nothing. So he started calling her just to see how things was going. Because then he saw in the media that she had hooked up with Harry, then she ghosted him, blocked him.
Wow.
So that's why Piers is mad, because don't nobody like to be used as a catapult for your agenda, for your opportunity or your greediness to get to the next level, and then you just step on their head. Don't nobody like being used and played, and then they thought you were friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know, I don't think he's racist, but at the same time, you know, I think he really knows that she can be very manipulative when it comes to clout chasing.
So it's almost like a reversal, like I said earlier, of a woman scorned. He was scorned.
He's scorned, and then at the same time, he's trying to let people know, you know, look, man, this woman here, she'll do some things for some attention, and for she might have gone through this, but I don't think she was suicidal. And I don't either. I don't think she was suicidal, because why? Why would you want to kill yourself?
Exactly.
Just because they didn't like you, you didn't know their history. Oh, so you thought you were special? You thought you was different? You thought they was gonna like your mixed blood, but were you that surprised? What was your expectation? What's wrong with your medulla oblongata, Megan? What was your agenda? So now all of a sudden you suicidal because you just went and got naive to the history of these people.
Let's go to Badger.
So I mean,
Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I needed to understand more of what was going on from the clip that you shared, because and to me it's sounding more and more like he's just straight up a nationalist, but at the same time I never liked the guy anyway. He always seemed way too arrogant. So I rarely ever watched anything that had to do with him.
Okay.
And I definitely didn't like his views on the royal family. But what I'm looking into, you know, is the whole thing between Meghan and Harry, you know, leaving the royal family, and, you know, the bits and pieces of the Oprah interview with the two of them, and the things that she was saying and he was saying and things of that nature. But the part I find interesting is it seems like there was a comment about, you know, them being having respect for is it Queen Elizabeth or whatever her name is, the old lady? I don't mean no disrespect to anyone listening. I just don't keep up with that kind of stuff. The queen that's over there, you know, and it seems like it's more issues with the rest of the family.
Yeah, I don't think it's really I don't think it's the queen that's really doing
Queen
all
Elizabeth
the
II.
But they said that some things in the interview, they said some things came out where they was actually talking about their child and stuff like this, and I think Meghan said that it wasn't the queen that said it, but she would not put on blast who said it, because she said that it would destroy them or put them in a situation that she didn't want to put them in. And so I respect the fact that she did that, but my thing is, and I'm gonna play another clip, but my thing is, Leonard, if you're not gonna tell the whole story, why bring it up?
I mean, what story are you talking about?
Them saying what they just said about her baby, about the mixed baby.
I don't care, because I've heard common people say the same things.
That's not, Leonard. That's not what we talk. We talking about this situation, brother. We talking about this situation.
We're talking about, well, one, this is an exploited situation.
It could be.
Now, you wasn't there when they said what they said. This is Meghan's opinion of how she felt. She's entitled to that. How she explains it is how she does that.
So why is it you're trying to make it out as though she's wrong right now? Because
I don't know what she said. I don't know. I'm not saying she's wrong.
But my thing is that she said there's somebody in that family that said something about her baby. Is it going to be too dark skin? What's going to be the skin complexion of the baby? Is going to be too dark, and things like that, making insinuations like that about her and her child. And she's and Oprah asked her, I think about 2 or 3 times, who said it? You know, because Oprah got a little disturbed when she heard it, and she said, who said it? Who said it? And Meghan would not divulge information about as to who said it.
Well, that's another story. More money, more interviews, and more of this whole show they put on for you all.
Not for me, brother. Not for me.
And like I say, just because I don't like it, that don't mean other millions and millions of other people don't like it. So one, we're gonna sit here and pretend. But see, I get confused when people try to reorganize what reality is. This is what occurred. This is your opinion. These are the facts. This is your opinion of those facts. And the only one that knows how Meghan feels is Meghan Markle.
Okay, but my thing is, it has nothing to with me. I can only speak for myself. It has nothing to do with me trying to organize or do this. I'm dealing with the facts. This is what happened. This is what she said happened. And as you said, to your point, I was not there, but she said it did happen, and her husband backed her up on it.
Right.
And
And
so
if that was the
evidently,
conversation that happened
Mhm,
about the skin color of her child and all this type of stuff,
mhm,
I could very well see me and my sister having the same conversation.
mhm. But
They're
you can't
human beings. They're
you
human
can't
beings.
that's beautiful, but you can't see where that's different though.
No, no.
Wow, wow,
Because
wow.
racism ain't what you get to choose. It ain't what you
Has
decide it is
nothing
every other day.
that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China.
Now,
Now,
just
that's
because she felt bad because what somebody said
no,
about her child, that's her issue.
okay, but my thing is this right here. If you're gonna say something like that, is the child gonna be too dark and blah blah blah? What's gonna be the complexion? You got a mixed couple here, and when you're gonna say something like that, I have an issue with that. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's something that's cool.
Have you ever been in a mixed relationship?
I have.
So if you all would have had children,
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't have been a conversation.
No, with
Okay.
me, no. No. With me, no. What my thing is, if that's my child, they're gonna come out as my child.
Okay.
And see, it's not a conversation that she had with him, with her husband. It's the conversation that somebody else had about their child.
Yeah.
That's where I find the issue at.
Yeah.
That's where I find the issue.
Same stuff people fight about down at the store about.
Mm-hmm. No.
What you say about my child?
For whatever reason, you don't want to see what I'm trying to tell you. You don't want
No,
to.
if she made, the thing about it is, I'm not trying to buy into how the issue is being exploited. They have a problem. That's an issue with those people's family. That I'm not trying to interject myself into their family.
It has nothing to do with being exploited. It has nothing to do with being exploited. It's a situation that
Why
happens.
you think they on TV?
That I think because Oprah asked them for the interview.
Exactly.
I think what it is, I think that to do something like that, to have somebody that come to you, if it's Megan and her husband Harry, if them two are having that conversation, that's their conversation. They can have the conversation that they want to have. But man, look, ain't nobody on the outside gonna come to me if I'm in an relationship. You let somebody come to me and say, "Man, what's gonna be the complexion of your child? Is it gonna be too dark?" Man, look here. They be either getting up off the floor, man. I'll be cutting their head off, brother. They ain't gonna talk to me like that. Because Rico, what's on your heart? Talk to me.
Well, I was living on that. I am one person that anytime they start dominating our news media with royal family, I get sick at the stomach because they are just human beings to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that people pedestalize them for and glorify them for are not things that are made from the mindset of an equal human being.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they call themselves godly or righteous, they can't be coming from the mindset of equal human beings because they choose to embrace their privilege. I just never had nothing for them.
Yeah.
But and on top of it, I don't, like I said, I'm suspicious of Megan.
Mm-hmm.
She's always come off or look like somebody that may be looking for something, that's looking for an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know her personally. I don't want to judge her.
But you know what you see.
My opinion is
you
that
know what you see.
This was an opportunity
Yeah.
to get some publicity because it could have been released in a different way. It didn't have to come out through Oprah. It could have just came out through a news release, a press release with her signature and her okay.
Rico, do you think she's a manipulator?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe she's taking this situation and realizing this is a perfect. Listen, this situation right here is guaranteed headlines, left and right, and so she did it that way. They released it that way. Harry wasn't the most vocal person with this, but I just think that this actually could have been released. The information that she told on Oprah could have been released the same way through a news article, and people could have read it. But having that camera in your face, trying to make people think you was suicidal, but you ain't got a tear in your eye. She looked like she was acting, but you could tell the truth and still manipulate the truth for some attention. So, that's just my opinion. I don't know that woman from the Man in the Moon, but I do know that she was smarter than what she was. She had to be smarter than that when she went into that situation. Now, all of a sudden, guess what I had to experience, people? Woe is me. They did me so wrong. I was ready to kill myself. You knew what you was getting into from the very beginning, but you wanted some of that power and that privilege. You wanted some of that access. Now you don't got that access, and this man done left his family. Denounced his title, renounced all that privilege, and that is amazing. But just think about who's going to benefit the most from this.
See, and that's one of the reasons why I love this so much, man, because everybody have their own opinions and what they think about it. Me, and I can only speak for me, the way I would do it is, man, bringing all the attention and all that stuff that could be negative to my family, man. I'm not getting up there doing all that, man. I'm not doing no interview and all that. I'm not doing all that, man, because and everybody have their own motivations. Everybody have their own motivation and what they do and how they do things. But me, if it was me now, open, no thank you. I don't think we want to do that interview. If my wife
Well, Raheem, look how she did it. Raheem, look how she did. She did it like a cliffhanger. She gave all this detail, but then she want to leave a little information for people to wonder and try to figure out, keep them interested. Who was it? Who was it? Was it the queen? Was it Charles? Was it Kate? Who asked about? Oh, it was numerous of them. Oh, which ones were it? Who's racist? Which one of them are definitely the ones that had the nerve to say this to her? Look, go ahead and tell the whole thing. Why you leaving all this suspense? But you don't spill the beans. Now you got everybody interested. Tell who it is.
But
See, I don't want.
do you give her any props? Do you give her any props, Rico? Do you give her any props because of the fact that she would not call her name though, or that's just another piece of the puzzle that she's playing?
You might as well tell it all, because you know people want to know. If you're gonna tell that part of it, tell who it is. This is almost like UFO disclosure. We're gonna give you a bit. Now we're gonna wait another 10 years and leave you at suspense talking about Roswell for 50 years. Come on, man, quit playing and give out the information unless you just want this news to stay you want the news to stay relevant. And if you want the news to stay relevant, then that means you will be in the news.
Absolutely. And I'm loving this, man, because there's a lot of different angles that everybody's taking on this thing. We got quite a few people on the phone lines.
I just want to make something real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm almost willing to bet that within the next couple years, there's probably going to be a book and a movie.
Oh, there will be. There will be. And there'll be a lot of money. There'll be a lot of money that's going to be made from that book and that movie.
Also, while all this news coverage is on that, what's happening behind the scenes?
That honestly speaking, we'll probably never know. We'll probably never know. I don't think they're going to allow certain things to get out because of who they're dealing with, because the quote unquote royal family. I'm sure they got some kind of guard or boundaries up in it where certain things won't get out, where certain things not gonna be privileged to the public. What do you
Wasn't there a story that when they first came to America, they just wanted to be left alone? No publicity, no nothing. They just wanted to be left alone, and now all of a sudden this has come out?
And that I don't know. Leonard, you know anything about that?
No, because I don't follow. I know it's just regular TV to me. I mean, that's what you do. Why would Oprah interview Raheem?
What?
Oprah call you to interview you?
Well, look, if she's smart, she will. I'm wondering
what y'all gonna talk about?
What?
What y'all gonna talk about?
The world. We're gonna talk about the world and the condition of the world, how it's in, how we're gonna do what we need to do to move forward to change the world. We're gonna look at there's so many different layers of what you could talk with Raheem.
Now, do you think that show gonna have more ratings or the show she did with Meghan Markle?
Oh man, we're gonna blow that little Meghan Markle thing. We're gonna blow that off the map.
Now you're in the fantasy.
I think you might be right.
Because people, it's not. These conversations are conversations that everybody talk about and have. There's no secret here. I don't understand what the issue is, with the exception. I can't wait for some of our female listeners to call in so they can explain, to people this notion, because you completely disregarded the notion of this young lady being a princess.
No, and that's pretty much what I was trying to stand on when y'all was attacking her, letting y'all know that she's somebody too, because y'all was saying about she being.
No, it's not what you think. She is a princess,
and that was
by definition. She's a princess. Whether she's a bad princess, good princess, white princess, whatever.
It doesn't matter. So, and that's what I was standing on. That's what I was standing on when y'all was bashing this lady.
And she has an appeal to the public. She's a beautiful woman. I haven't heard her say a whole lot because I don't follow them. But before she was even around, I will watch and follow Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Harry's different. That's why his wife is different. That's why Harry's children's gonna be different. Hell, Harry might not even be for Charles.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not gonna act as if these people are not who they are, whether you respect them or not. She's a queen. No, she ain't just calling herself a queen, Elizabeth. She is a queen. Her sons become kings and princes of their nation. Used to be what they would say of the world. Okay, so that's who those people are. That's their background. They got a whole different thing going. I can't criticize that above how she is and who they are. They're just people. The conversation that you mentioned is a common conversation to me. I don't know why she was so offended by that. I don't know. Like they didn't sit around and think about what their kids would look like.
That's one thing. And let me go to my phone lines as well. That's one thing. And let everybody else know the phone lines are open 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973.
I know Miss K calling in today because Miss K has interracial grandchildren.
Yeah, she'll probably call in. She'll probably be in, she's on the prayer line right now, so she'll probably call in a little bit. But my thing is, I think that's different, man. I think that's different for them to talk around. And if I wasn't in a racial relationship, and you asked me the question, and excuse me, and yes, I have been before. My thing is, if we have a conversation about what our children are gonna look like, that's us talking. But Johnny ain't gonna come in here and try to talk to me or tell me what my children gonna look like. Or
you don't get to tell other people what they can talk about.
I could cut it off though. I cut it off.
No, they just ain't gonna talk to you.
That's and that's my point.
They can talk to the rest of the world though.
That's my point exactly. They're not gonna say it to me.
Yeah,
that's just my point.
And why
you want to see? No,
I'm not looking. If you look for things to be racist, you will automatically come to that conclusion.
It has nothing to do with that, man.
Well, that's what they selling.
Some things you just don't do, Leonard. Some things
is
I'm not gonna. If I go and I see somebody's child that's not very appealing to the eye, I'm not gonna say that's an ugly baby. Some things you just don't do.
That's what you wouldn't do.
Something exactly, and there's a right and a wrong way to do everything. There's a right and a wrong way to do everything, and they stand up in front of somebody, talk baby, and say, "Man, that's an ugly baby." Now, where they do that at, man?
Well, so Madea do it.
See, there you go.
It was funny when Madea did it, right?
That's comedy, brother. That's comedy. That's comedy.
This is comedy.
Nah, well, it may be to you, but not to everybody else. Toya with a T, what's on your heart? Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
What's up? Good morning. Hey, man. We already know how this goes. I mean, it is what it is. Listen. People feel how they want to feel. We don't have the right to tell anybody how to feel. Is it wrong to make a comment like that? Absolutely. But it's still the way they feel. And we know the reason why they feel like that is because of the color. It's because of the meaning that it's a hint of black. That's what the problem there lies in. And they take that and they run with it and they make it all these big deals because for whatever reason that hint of black is a threat, man. But overall we got to think about, Meghan Markle, just like Prince Diana, was a regular person. That's the American dream, a regular person, regular female, and a black, real gorgeous, get married to a Prince Harry at that. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. So you got to move accordingly now. It's like being a superstar, right? You think you want to be a superstar, but right now you can go back and forth where you want to and say what you want to. But when you go on another plateau, you can't do that. And that's where she's at now. It's just a lot of things she can't do for the sake of the family and the kingdom and the reputation and all that stuff there. Not in a broke way, because look at what happened to Princess Diana. They don't want unity. They cannot, in their minds, they don't feel like they can capitalize off of unity, and it's always a divide, and it's taking the bloodline and all this, that, and third. So they have to move differently. No, you can't be calling people out. Just like a president, just like a black president. You can't get up there and call people out. They will take you out. They kill people. They murder people. They murder kids and families. So you have to move accordingly because that world is real. And I'm quite sure for them, with that being Harry's norm, even the wickedness, for example, if the conspiracy theories are true that they plotted and killed Prince Diana, they wasn't going to let Harry what the kingdom stand for. I'm not with that. I'm finna get my family. I'm finna go over here, man, because the things it takes to operate in that game, I'm not willing to do. And unless the game changes, then he might step up. When they die off, he might step back up because it's about righteousness. But right now, we really got to look at, from another perspective. This is coming from a world we don't understand. But again, another example, Korea. They kill each other, uncles and granddads and dads for positions. And we have to keep that in mind when we're dealing with these human beings and how they move and fluctuate. But yeah, it's their time to make that money. So I'm not mad at them. If they know that this is one of the safest ways to start to build their empire and their own money from their experience, let them get it.
Wow. Wow. Let's go to Bishop. Good morning, Bishop. How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. How you doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, man. Loving this conversation, brother. Loving this conversation. What's on your heart?
I'm just sitting there listening, man, and getting the ear full. I get so much joy a lot of times when I hear Leonard speak with so much passion and so much conviction. He's just raw, and he's bringing it out of Jesus keeps it real. Dealing with the subject matter, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and what's going on. I knew exactly who was the one who was causing so much rift, and it was not the Queen, it was his father. And he alluded to that in a roundabout way. He said, my dad went to says, and I'm disappointed in him how he's acting. Well, in the interview, that's what I heard him say. So I knew then that he had to be, the problem that's coming in, it has to be coming from his father. But see, what is in the history books, King George III, his wife was a black woman. So it's not uncommon for England to have black royalty in the family. That's Queen Charlotte. So, in their lineage, they turn around and say, well, we don't want tainted blood, or we don't want this, and the family's already there. You can't take it out. The bloodline is the bloodline. But that's what people don't know, and it's so crazy because this was during the 1700s that this black lady was married to King George III. Isn't that funny? So I wonder what color Meghan and Harry's next child gonna be. Question it.
Make you say, Good deal. Now I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all are ready for this because we got this fella and this Leonard best bud right here. Donald Tucson. Ain't no telling what we about to get. Boy, y'all get ready. Put your seatbelt on. Donald Tucson, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good. Okay, so now I saw some pictures of the bunch of the family, and I'm sorry, them some ugly people.
Lord. Leonard, I told you ain't no telling what we was about to get, brother.
Like I say, everybody got their opinion, but y'all so cute. Y'all so cute. You being cute.
They just didn't find my heritage yet. Some people don't know.
Tell them, Tucson.
Who cares? Let me tell you how to stop drama in the family. When somebody brings you up into social media and stuff like that, cut them off. Get rid of them. That's what you do. I mean, to not exploit the family, get my name. I get my name back. How about that? Then what else we're gonna talk about? Headlines: the prince and the princess has went their separate ways. Let's talk about that. That's how you stop all of that. That's just me, though. I mean,
separate yourself.
We talk about the royal family, bless their heart. They don't make me breathe. I don't care nothing about it. I mean, it's interesting, but I got as much drama. Y'all want to talk about me?
Exactly, Tucson. Tell them.
What we got in common, Raheem, is that we to Oprah ain't nobody.
Yeah.
But if you search my bloodline or yours, you might find that different. We just hadn't found it out yet. See, we didn't come to this country and they discredited us.
Exactly.
To the point where now all we identify is as African American, whoever that is.
Whoever that is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rico, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? We got another call. Caller will be with you in just 1 second.
Once again, like I said, I'm just one of those people that can care less about anything to do with the royal family. I think that whole system of a monarchy is just warped. You know, I look at them as nothing but pure colonizers, and they got to be warped in the head to think they're better than other human beings. And other human beings have to be warped in the head to look at them like they're better. But for some reason they do. Now, what really surprises me is the black people that have embraced this Western culture. You know, I say that all the time. We have embraced a culture and we have a craving to achieve all the excellence of that culture, but that culture wasn't meant for us to achieve the excellence in the top of the chain of that. So now here it is, we still occupying our time talking about it. This is probably the first time that I've really been glad to see that they dominate the airwaves, because now finally black people at least can realize that they ain't supposed to be cherishing or worshiping these people, period. Because you know what they think about you. They not only about you, but what they think about poor people. I mean, you know, the fact that they don't have to work for what they get. They just get it just because. Who I don't like spoiled people. I don't think nobody out here is supposed to get any kind of privilege just because of who they are. You get what I'm saying? So that whole system to me is dysfunctional. I don't see how the world could even still tolerate a monarchy at this day and time, kings and queens. It's 2021. I mean, who's still doing that kind of stuff? But see, that fairy tale life, people still, to me, it's a distraction. It's an illusion that people still want to wish that they can achieve, knowing that you can, that's one thing you can't achieve. Being in the royal family is probably the second hardest thing to get into heaven. So she just achieved that. Now black people feel, oh, we got a black woman in the royal family now. It's almost like getting a black person in the White House. Now we're gonna paint the White House black. Man, that wasn't for us. That ain't even our culture. That ain't even that system that they're doing is not the same royal system that went on in Africa with kings and queens. This is a whole totally different setup from this young civilization of people. You get what I'm saying? So I just never agreed with it, but I am glad this came out, because now it reveals, it pulls the covers back to really show you just what a black person has to go through, regardless of who they are in the world and what family they come in contact with. It really shows you in general how racism is in every aspect of our people activity.
Wow. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I think it's K with an E. K with an E, you with us?
Good morning. I'm with you.
Good deal. Now, you've been listening to us this morning. We're talking about that royal family and all the situations that's been going on with them. What is on your heart behind that? What do you think about
It's just they just people. They human, and it's been going on. We just know that they having a family as well. It's nothing new. It's been going on. And it shouldn't be a shock that the royal family is prejudiced. It shouldn't be a shock. That's where they come from.
Now, do you think
they got everything and more than everybody else?
Kay, do you think they're prejudiced?
They think they're better.
Kay, do you think they're prejudiced?
I don't think anything, to tell you the truth, because they ain't the reason I eat, sleep, or go to the bathroom. I really don't care, but they show. They show. We can think what we want to think, but what do they show? When they show us, then it's no longer a think. Now we know. So I don't think anything. I know they are.
Wow.
Thanks to the media, I know they are. If it wasn't for the media, I wouldn't know one thing about them. I only know what I know because they're in the light, the limelight. They're in the light. The spotlight is on them. Other than that, we wouldn't know. But you know, they're not over the world, so I don't look at them like that. But it's prejudice everywhere. It's like it's everywhere. Front door, back door, side, other side. It's everywhere. And we will deal with it. Our kids are gonna deal with it. Our grandkids are gonna deal with it. We have mixed relationships and we still have racism. So where is it gonna go? And how is it going to go? Racism been out. It was in the Bible. How they mistreated them people. They mistreated God. And come on, because he was black. It's been there. It's just something that we have to deal with. Either you deal with it or you don't. I'm a person that don't deal with it. When I tell y'all, I touched that woman's back and it like it killed her. I felt it because I spoke to her and everything. She barely spoke back and everything. Walked in the door just looking mad at the world. I felt it, my spirit. And when I told her about the cough thing and why she was coughing so hard, the way she looked at me, she didn't even know how to appreciate a person helping her because it came from a black lady. And when she coughed, I went over there and I'm telling y'all, I massaged the back of her neck. She probably drawed all up and crawled and everything. She didn't cough no more the whole time I was there. And the little Mexican man told her, well, she did help you, boy. She didn't know what to say. On my way out the door, it broke her heart to have to say thank you.
Yeah.
But she finally did say thank you, though.
Praise
so
God.
I deal with it very good. I'll just go right on in there. And I put myself just like I do now. I go in there and do all kind of stuff. And I get right on in there with them white people.
Good
deal. I want them to know I'm a human just like y'all.
Okay. Absolutely. Let me go. We got another caller from the 601 area code. 601, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, everyone. This is Annie from Mississippi.
Annie!
Hey, Annie.
Good morning. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. We're talking about the royal family and and from the Oprah Winfrey interview that they had and the stuff that came out. Annie, what do you think? What's on your heart?
Well, I was watching you guys for a moment, and I just wanted to call in and say this. I'm sure there's a lot of racism there, because this is the first Black female that ever came into their family. So, I'm sure they have been putting on for a moment in front of the camera to pretend it's okay, and they're okay with that. But I'm sure racism is there, it's in their heart. But I called in to say this. What irks me is that Candace Owens, this morning I was listening to the news and how she have already, since Trump have lost, she just put for anybody to hop on in order to stay relevant. So this morning her opinion on this lady, on Meghan, was nothing but nasty. And I looked at her and I said this to myself. It's horrible that you only got a platform because you are there to talk about your own race. This female has a little platform that somebody her messed around and gave her. She used that platform only to tear down her own race. When I first saw her maybe over a year ago, and I follow her from time to time. Well, I don't follow her, but I go on her page every now and then. And every video I've seen her make, it's always to tear down the Black man. She have never, ever, as I can remember, or as I know of, say anything positive about a Black person. It's always something negative. If I have to get a platform by tearing down my own skin color, you can keep your platform. It makes no sense when you're only there, the white people only pat you on the back as long as you're talking about your own. If you ever call out a Caucasian person, your whole followers is going to drop right there. But it's sad that we're in a time, we're in 2021, where you feel comfortable, and it's okay with you to have a spotlight shining on you from time to time, but you only have the spotlight because you're here to talk about your own color. Nothing more, nothing less. So every time you click on those videos, even George Floyd, she had so much negativity to say about him and every Black man that was killed before him and after him. And it sickens me to see that a Black woman that is intelligent, but you use your little intelligence for the wrong reason. If I have to use your platform to tear down my own skin color, I don't need your platform. And that's the person right there who don't know who they are, or a person who has self-hate. I don't care what the white people say. This woman absolutely, and I believe it within my heart, hates herself. She hates her own skin color. She hates the person that she sees in the mirror. And that's my opinion of her. So she had so much negativity to say about Megan. Anytime, you know, there's a person of color versus a person of Caucasian, she always hops on there and speak and talk down, you know, about the black people. And that's sad.
Exactly.
I mean, what kind of, in this day and time, you mean to tell me you can't use your quote unquote intelligence in any other way? You have to, the white people have you here for one reason. They have a leash on your neck. And they are teaching you and they're training you to talk about your own color. So when a cop kills a black man, your job is to hop on there and talk about that black man.
Okay, hold on, Annie.
You know what happened 20 years ago.
Okay, hold on 1 second, and I got to pull some more people into the conversation. Hold on, don't hang up. Hold on for a second. Let me go to Badger. Badger has something you wanted to say. Badger, what's on your heart?
So because of the conversation we were having about the Queen and everyone over there, I saw a friend of mine that was in one of the Discord servers that actually lives over there. So I went and talked to him for a minute while other people were talking and stuff. That's why I disappeared for a minute. And I flat out asked him, I'm like, if would the nationalists that live over there right now accept a mixed person as a king or queen? Their answer was no. That a lot of the nationalists that are over there right now that are for the monarchy have not changed with the times or refused to. Whatever choice or whatever's going on in their head, which is probably a mixture of all of the above, would not be okay with a mixed child as king or queen. Wow. So could the royal family also be racist? It's possible. Or to me, it could also be possible, or it could be a split decision to also try to protect them. So, like, without us actually being there, we can't say 100% for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Go ahead. So,
you know, and that's a lot of things, because there's a lot of stuff that our country won't let us research about other countries. And a lot of people don't know that. I've been sent a lot of news and stuff from friends that live over there that I cannot access in this country, which I've always found interesting. But to be able to talk to them, you know, these people I game with off and on, and I talk to when I can, you know, and racism is there.
Yeah.
And it's not just a royal family, but it's in the streets.
Exactly. And in all fairness, though, I do value what your friend said, and I know and I love the transparency and honesty that they have. It's hard for me to take one person's opinion and let that speak for everybody, because
it's not just his opinion. It's been just about every person I've talked to in that country.
Okay. But see, I have because me myself, and what I'm saying, and neither one of us can actually speak for everybody. You know, we can say what our personal experiences are and what we know from where we live through, and we can speak from.
Did I come across saying that he was speaking for everybody?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that for the listeners, brother. I'm just saying that for the listeners. Gotcha. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya, you told me to remind you of something.
Oh yeah, a story, right?
Hey, because Toya, your phone is real. Your phone is real low, Toya. Your phone is real low.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
All right. So we were talking about if Oprah Winfrey would want to speak to you, and then Donald was like, you know, he got a bad habit of making people feel like, you know, they're nobody. And I think that's right? Like if Oprah Winfrey wanted to speak to you and you had that topic that you said, would people want to watch it? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to hear about that? And I think that's one of the major problems. Like some of the things we might want to talk about, they don't want to hear about that. What's going on with Megan and them, that's what they want to hear about. You know, because we're always at the center of somebody's attention. But not for nothing, this story, right? There's 3 guys and a girl. They're sisters and brothers, right? They all go to the military, but they go to different places. So they come back to their father's funeral. And the 3 boys, they hard on the girl because, you know, girls, oh, daddy, baby.
Look like Raheem done froze up, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Megan's story is real. That's one thing I want to make sure I get across is that I don't want to dismiss her story as being illegitimate or a waste of time. She went through some issues over there with the media, with the news, the press. They were calling them monkeys, and I mean, you know, every now and then people could throw subliminal cuts and jabs at you. Just so happens some of her cuts and jabs happen to be racist cuts and jabs. So, you know, she had a lot she was dealing with. You know, she was behind the scenes trying to keep it quiet, that Kate wasn't being too welcoming to her, you know what I'm saying, as a sister-in-law. So, I mean, she had certain issues that I'm pretty sure they did make her uncomfortable. And I don't know, everybody can't relate to how it feels to be the minority in a group of people that recognize you as a minority, or to be recognized as less than. So now here it is, she's coming in as a commoner, then she's coming in with somebody of not pure blood, you know, and you know, you know, she went through some experiences. I don't want to disqualify anything she said or minimize it. But you know, I just really hope that she's not taking this opportunity to build her brand or her legacy later down the road, because right now, whether we realize it or not, this is historical. This is down in the annals of history. From now on, this situation will be discussed for 100 years from now. It's going to come up. Somebody's going to research it and go be like, hey, let me tell you this story about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, the long lost prince and princess that you never heard of. What about, I mean, so it's going to be some sensation going on with it. Me personally, I'm the one that just don't like all this royal family. I don't admire them like that. But her story is worthy of being heard, because being the fact that they do have that platform and that prestige, I think everybody needs to know these people that they have on the pedestal. They need to realize they really are behind closed doors.
Well, you know, and also we have to, and see, this is one of the things that I look at as far as our ability to progress and move forward. African American people need to stop always trying to belittle other people. It's not cute. It's not. If you constantly are looking to criticize other people, you have a serious mental problem. If you only see things one way, that's a problem. If you believe your ways are always better than other people's ways, you have a problem. The same, you cannot admire our African kings and queens and then belittle the Queen of England because she's a monarch. Your African kings were monarchs. That's a whole system of government and people's culture. And just like you mentioned, that's the issue with the royal family. Like Badger said, they're not going to follow at all or admire a black king or queen. They're not. That's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be impossible for them to have royal blood. If you read every story of every queen and all these bastard children and all these types of things, kids that kings have had, and all the other people get killed. So now you have no choice but to make this bastard the king of a concubine, or one of his concubine's kids. This is in the Bible.
Yep.
So let's not act as if the concept is brand new. Meghan's story is probably just like a lot of other people's stories in interracial relationships. I sat right with my son. This is a doctor we've had forever with my wife. And he was like, so who is that? That's the dad. That's my husband. That's his father? You know why? Because my babies were very light complected.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so much so to the fact that you show that show, baby. Don't act like y'all don't talk like that. Don't act like y'all don't sit around and talk about the ears, the nose, and everything else of your children.
Mm-hmm. But see,
the colors of their skin, shades of their skin.
I understand what you're saying, and again, I'm not gonna say that you're wrong, but at the same time, me personally, me, and we got a couple other calls. I want to get to the callers as well, and I want to go back to Toya because the call got dropped and Toya didn't finish her thought. But but certain things you ain't gonna come to me and say about my kids, man. You just ain't gonna. I'm not gonna let you do that. You know, like I said, I can't. Like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I ain't saying everybody accepted it, but that's what people talk about. This is a human situation. This is a very human situation.
I can agree with that, but like I say again, my end is I'm not gonna let anybody just come in and talk about
what you gonna do.
Oh, I'm gonna stop it, brother. Trust and believe. I'm gonna
what
stop
you gonna do? You gonna do just like Harry did.
No, I'm not.
Harry moved his family away because his wife was unhappy.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's the second. Maybe that's the second result. But the first result, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop you from talking, saying what you're saying. You ain't gonna say that in front of me.
Do you say that when they say that about your kids in a conference in school?
Win, lose or draw. Win, lose or draw. We're gonna deal with the situation. Win, lose or draw. We're gonna deal with the situation.
But what is the situation?
You talking about my children in that manner, in that way, in front of me, so I can hear it like I'm not standing here?
So if somebody say your child got light skin, that drives you insane?
Now you know good and well that is not what I'm talking about, brother.
Well, what are you talking about? Because that's what it sounded like you said.
No, if somebody talk about my children in a disrespectful way in front of me.
So what was so disrespectful of talking about a child's skin color?
Hold on. Hold on. Who is that?
I don't know. It sounded like Miss K.
K would eat it
now.
It might have been. It might have been. I'm normally muted. Hold on, let me mute.
Lord, she threw my whole focus off, man. I was trying to talk to Lenny because me and Lenny get to them debates, and I love when we get to the debate, we go back and forth.
This is not.
Hey,
really
got interested in case said, bring that pork chop sandwich.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I want some popcorn.
She threw me well though. I'm like, wait a minute, whoa. She threw me off. Excuse me, y'all. She threw me off that time, but I forgot all my thought and everything. I was going somewhere, but you got me that time. We got another call. Better yet, let's go back to Toya with a T before we go to the caller. Caller, hold on. We're gonna come to you 1 second. Toya, finish your thought. You telling us a story.
Yeah, basically at the end of the day, at the funeral, the brothers found out that she was a war hero and never said anything. And I said that to talk about underestimating somebody. That's the story to tell. Her brothers might have thought, oh, you ain't nobody. You my sister, daddy, baby, you just that and the third. But in war, she saved the man. She didn't save her own life. She went back and made them go back and get him and save someone else's life, which changed them. We shouldn't underestimate someone. It shouldn't take for you to be a billionaire, and it shouldn't take for you to have to die for your story to be valuable. And once we gain back that value in people, your story is valuable. Once we gain that back, we'll be able to overcome these stories that we're talking about right here.
That's good. That's good. Now, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Tifa, and I'm calling from the Antelope Valley.
Good morning, Tifa. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. I just had to chime in on Meghan Markle. Is that her name? The Queen of England?
Yes.
Okay, I seen the documentary yesterday, and I'm telling you, that thing really pissed me off. Because I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this woman in pain. It was pain in her eyes, but she had to hold it in because, you know, they wanted to save face for, you know, the king of, for their little throne or whatever. You feel me? And I didn't really appreciate how her husband didn't want to answer Oprah's questions. He just kept saying he don't want to answer it. This woman is really, I really think she's being discriminated against, and she really wasn't welcome into the family, but because that man loved her and he wanted to take a stand, you know, for the woman in his life, you know, he's paying a heavy price. They cut him off, okay? They cut him off financially, cut off his security. I mean, they practically threw him away because he married a black woman. And therefore, the queen to say they're concerned about the baby's skin color, if the baby's going to get darker, and they're not going to give the baby a title, okay? That baby deserves that inheritance, but they're not going to give this baby a title. So that lets you know that they are racist. And they have always been racist. And racism in America is not dead. It is still here. You know what I'm saying? Anything that happens, just like with the president, when President Trump came into office, we saw real racism spring up. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And people was acting all types of way against black people, calling us torch monkeys. We look like gorillas, you know, attacking us. They've always hated us for our skin color because we are strong people. You feel me? We are creative people. We're doctors, we're lawyers, we're teachers. We're not just sitting around here, you know, scratching our head and eating bananas. No, we're very intelligent people, and that's what they can't stand about us. And so when I seen that, I was really, really disturbed by it. And my heart went out to that woman so strong. And I said, you know what? I'm going to support this woman, you know, just with my prayers and just, you know, speaking positively about her because she really is hurting. She said that woman, I forget the other lady that made her cry before her wedding. Before her wedding, who does that? Hatred, racism. They don't want black blood in the royal family. Are you kidding me? That's why they cut that man off. And he said the only reason why they're able to survive is from the money that his mother left him, Princess Diana.
Wow.
So it's a lot of hatred going on up in there, y'all. I don't care how you slice it and you dice it. That woman, that's why they left, to get away from them. That woman is in pain. And she has to shut up and save face for the sake of the royal family. That's some bull. So my heart goes out to that whole situation.
Good
I'm
deal.
sorry.
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, I understand exactly what you're saying, sister. And hold on for a second. We're going to go to a couple of other people. Let's go to Bishop. Bishop, what's on your heart? Bishop, you there? Bishop, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Badger, talk to me.
I'm just still the thing you asked me about earlier about why I said what I said about that whole situation. I just still have sort of the same thought process because we're focused on.
Even after talking to your friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't discredit that person or anything like that. What I have an issue with is how it's being broadcasted all over media. And people are so distracted with that converse with what happened that a lot of the things that we need to be working on and towards almost seem like they've been kind of put to the wayside for now because the main priority is this woman was whatever.
But see, my thing is, and I understand what you're saying, but my thing is, if we don't deal with every situation as they come about, and how do we decide what we're going to just push to the side and what we're going to deal with?
Those things get.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Badger. Badger.
Just go
on. Okay, Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I agree with what he's saying too. I don't like that sensationalism. I don't like all the appeal and the publicity that the royal family. But that's just the way the system works. That's the world. Exactly. People love sensationalism. They love fame. They want to know about the lifestyles of the rich and famous. It was a show that it was successful because people wanted to know about those with the privilege.
Robin Leach.
Yep, and the royal family is one of the top halves in the history of man. They have riches from other countries, from Africa. They have a lot of gold and artifacts from Africa worth a whole lot that they just claim because they were good, white, privileged, chosen people. They still own a lot of this wealth from that. So I can understand that. You know, I don't like the sensationalism and the attention that they get. But at the same time, I do like the fact that it's an eye-opener for those of us that were looking through rose-colored glasses that were like actually just looking at the surface of it. Because a lot of people actually were just they were crazy about the royal family. Just the thought of it, man. They were very intrigued by it. Some of them, some of our sisters probably had that same dream to be Meghan Markle. Ooh, such a dream. You know, I'm glad that it was revealed. I like when covers are being pulled back off of things and the truth is being brought out. I don't care what it is. Anytime the truth can be brought out about the real agenda or the real ways of people, I love that. I don't care who it is, because we need to have a true picture or vision of who we're dealing with, or who we're worshiping, or who we're reading about, you know, who we're idolizing, you know. But I'm with Badge on that. You know, it gets to a point where you start following all this news and they just lead us around by the nose, and then there's other situations that just slide under the radar. It gets forgotten about because of the momentum that goes with it. So I'm the same, but I am happy to hear that this came out, that they revealed that this was going on behind closed doors, because some people actually need to realize who they're idolizing. I mean, I don't want to idolize a pedophile. If somebody can come back and tell me that my favorite baseball player was a pedophile, man, I'm gonna back up off of him, because I don't want to be out here supporting and promoting him, and he's hurt. Other people hate him for being a deviant. I'm glad that it came out, because we should be very aware of who we put on a pedestal or who we promote and support.
Rico, do you think people always care?
I don't think everybody always cares, but you know, as a black person, I mean, well, you know, like as a black person with this situation, some don't care because they already knew it existed. They already knew that situation, they knew what she was walking into. Like, I feel she should have known what she was walking into. But if she had this image in her head that racism doesn't exist anymore, I'm gonna go in here and it's just gonna be lovely. You naive Megan, that's your fault. That means you drank the Kool-Aid that this country been selling you for a long time, which I believe she did, because I seen how she did her family. Got married to Prince Harry. So it's a wake-up call for people to stop putting people on a pedestal and stop idolizing everybody, because behind closed doors, these human beings all have some flaws that you might not like.
Exactly. Now, Leonard, let's talk for a second, brother. Let's talk for a second about what Annie said and what she brought to the table about one of your favorite people, Candace Owens, and how she the stances that she takes. It's her opinion, it's her thought. She have the right to feel the way that she feel. But Leonard, how does that a little child, a little girl that's listening to Candace Owens and her viewpoints, can she be poisoning?
Not if that little girl is taught that, one, that's Candace's opinion. See, this is the thing about me, and I don't care if people don't like this. Just because we black don't mean I'm like you.
Go ahead.
We're people. We have our own personalities and everything. I respect that. I don't care what color you are. I respect the fact that you exist. Now, I may not like everything you do or what have you, but I surely don't hate you. So this, you know, like we had one caller come in from a narrative, it was very female. It was about how Megan probably feels. Then we had another person we had a comment from a person that was from over there. That's another story. Then we got your story. It's just a story. There's racism in that story. There's been racism there. It's always been. But you don't listen to it when I teach it, but you'll listen to it when Megan says it. That's why. That's why. I've talked critical race theory for a moment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But millions of y'all gonna sit there and watch that TV, and you gonna go off of what you see on the TV and how you felt.
Emotions.
Not about history, facts, and everything else, because that's not as sensational. I don't care what y'all say. Remember when they had to deal with the Princess and the Frog? The first black princess with Disney and all this, and Disney changed all their things to show more black princesses and things like that. So let's not act as if any person is so wrong. This is who they are. If you just realize that there was racism in the royal family, I don't know where you've been. You need to quit watching as much TV and getting them books.
Hi, this is Cassandra Alexander.
So it's not that, you know, my girl Lisa Ray, wasn't she a princess at one time?
Yes, she was.
She was actual princess. Y'all don't get to dictate to these people how they live and what they do. That's them. And like the person just said, that's more the issue than anything, is to look up one day and that crown is sitting on somebody's head that's black, complected. That's their issue. The same issue with y'all families. Some of y'all didn't want that mixed blood in y'all families, but y'all kids thought otherwise. There are people who have excommunicated, don't talk to their kids no more, just like the royal family. They ain't no different. They're human beings, is what you're seeing. They're human beings. You're going to say, I didn't know they was racist. What about all these continents that they colonized? Oh, my God. Oh, Meghan felt so bad. But what about these continents that they colonized? Meghan been here 5 minutes. 5 minutes. These other folks been doing what they're doing 500 years. And y'all acting surprised. Y'all are obviously unaware of the situation and what's going on in the world. This shouldn't have been that shocking. You see what they did to Diana, and she was white. It had nothing to do with the color of her skin. It's because she was common. Now add the fact that Markle is common and she black. And then some of y'all choose to call her black now, but the president wasn't black, but Meghan black. Y'all confused.
Conflicting.
When all you have to do is look at the reality and set your feelings to the side. Like the one lady said, the Queen said, what did the Queen say? What about it? What did the Queen say?
I don't think she had a lot to say about it at all.
What did she say?
It was.
But you had a woman call into this show and say something the Queen said that she didn't say. That's what you get for listening to people, watching TV, and going on based on what you heard because you don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. I'm glad you brought that up because
that one caller injected several different new things into this conversation that no one has any facts on.
I heard the same thing. I'm glad you did that.
So it's not, I mean, the Queen ain't trying to sit there and justify herself to you. She's not. She's a queen. She don't care what you think. So to think black people always want to belittle someone and not understand.
Why should she try to explain? Why should she try to explain herself to a peasant?
But even that, but you're gonna sit there and act like one. I admire Elijah Muhammad, despite his shortcomings. I admire Elijah Muhammad. I admire Louis Farrakhan. I admire Malcolm. I admire Garvey. I admire lots of different people for what they have accomplished and what they've done. So let's not erase and try to erase people this way. Well, so what, she a princess? No, not so what, she a princess. That's why they got all these problems over there, because she got in there and she is a princess. That's the problem, that they allowed her to become a princess. That's why they so upset with Harry, because Harry should have known better. But Harry is known for that if you've followed Harry before Meghan. Harry has always did things like this. So he's always had issues with his father. This man is, he pretty much grew up single parent. He's single parent household, right? Because his mama got killed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
His mama died tragically.
Hold on. Let me pull some more people in here, man, because you'll get on the roll. You'll get on the roll on me. You'll get on the roll. Rico, I saw your hand. What's up? And we got another caller. Caller, we coming to you next. What's on your heart, Rico?
Yeah, I want to go back and verify something Leonard said, because that was huge that he said that about us coming with the correct information. A question was asked earlier, and one thing I realized is that sometimes when bad information favors the point we were trying to make, we'll take anything and go on to it. And so I heard that comment too about what the Queen said, and the Queen said, and you know what? The Queen didn't say nothing. The Queen was not with that. So we need to make sure we have that cleared up, because we don't want to be the ones out here just adding on extra information to prove our point or to be justified in agreeing with Meghan. Meghan told Oprah that it was several people that asked about the color of the baby, but the queen was not one of them. So, you know, before we let people put that label on Queen Elizabeth, Meghan pretty much absolved her.
Yeah.
People that was one of the problems. So, you know, we need to make sure that we stick to what was said and the facts instead of going along with our opinion, because some of us would probably prefer for Queen Elizabeth to be prejudiced. But from what I understand, she got some black in her blood too. And
tell him, Rico.
It ain't too far removed. She's like, I think it's like her great grandmother. So I mean, you know, she probably didn't have, you know, or maybe some people looked at pictures and tried to judge from those pictures because they just happened to catch her looking at a certain way at a certain moment in time that looks sort of suspicious. But we got to make sure that we put the correct information out there and just not group everybody together to suit our agenda, because that's the game people play. The Queen didn't say anything about Archie's color, but it was others. There was others, but the Queen wasn't one of them.
Yeah, it could have been like, you know how we got in our family, we got them messy aunts that always talking trash.
Leonard, hold on. Let me go to the phone. I think we have Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How's everyone doing?
Hey, they fired up this morning, Cassandra. They fired up this morning. They're wide open. They are wide open. We're talking about the royal family and the interview that Meghan and Harry had with Oprah. What did you gather from that?
I mean, I wasn't surprised by anything that was said, especially when it came to the child and someone saying to her, or a few people saying to her about color of skin. That sounds normal. What I wanted to address is the history of the lineage of Queen Elizabeth. Like I think Rico just said, this woman, she knows she had black in her family, so I don't really take that like, you know, she's racist or anything like that. She knows that she has these black women in her family. Black women. Black women. I repeat, black women. She has black women in her lineage line. So for her to come off as racist, I don't see that. Now, they are big on conquering and taking over people's butt, like every other group of people just about would go in and conquer, whether it's in Africa, wherever. But I believe that her problem is not so much with the color of people, it's when you break protocol. That's what Diana, because Diana was outspoken, she talked, that was like unheard of. You don't talk about certain things, you don't do certain things. And Diana broke all the molds. She did what the hell she wanted to do. Excuse my language. She did it. That song, she did it her way. She did it her way. And that was the biggest problem with her and Diana, with Queen Elizabeth and Diana. And now you got Meghan, who was pretty much the same way. She was doing what she wanted to do, talking, you know, to people. Everything about these people are protocol. You cannot break what the tradition is. So when you do that, you become like not an enemy of the state, but they will check you, especially Queen Elizabeth. She'll do it in a subtle way, but she make it known that, hey, we don't do that over here. I don't know what y'all do over there, but we don't do that over here. So that was her problem with Diana, and I believe that was her problem with Meghan.
Wow.
Not race.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Tiva, what's on your heart, sis?
Well, I'm just going to say, from me watching the interview, they kept, Oprah kept asking them, well, who said this? And they didn't want to say who said it. They kept skipping around it. But who word matters the most, except someone that is in charge? You don't care about what, you know, the little workers have to say. It's what the person has to say that's in charge. So that's why I attribute it to the Queen, because, you know, it's what, you know, the head says, not what the body says. You know, they might chitter chatter and all of that. But when it comes down to it, it's who's in charge that really matters the most. So that's why I was speculating that it came from that person. And when they talked about that baby skin color, being too dark. Who else says that except someone that is racist?
Kodak Black.
What matter about the color of your skin? If you're in this bloodline, if you're part of this family, you should receive the inheritance just like everybody else.
Okay.
You know, in their history, their family history. And then a gentleman said, I don't know if he was addressing me, that my comment was very female. I want to talk about that too, because I don't really feel like my comment was very female. I felt it was very humanistic, because you were dealing from a human point of view where feelings are involved. Racism is very humanistic. It's not female nor male. It happens in this country, and it is still here. I've experienced that even on my job, where one of the nurses was saying that she was taking care of an inmate and he was Black and he couldn't breathe because his nose was too big. And, you know, they can't breathe because their nose is too big. And I have to sit there while someone tried to tell me, oh, she didn't mean it. Oh, she didn't mean that, you know, because, you know, Black people do have big noses. I'm like, no, that's racist. And I have to report that. So I see racism every day on my job. You understand? Growing up in Mississippi, when I had to go visit my grandmother, I seen racism. We couldn't go to the Black pool. The white pool. We have to go to the Black pool. We couldn't go to the white movie theater. We have to go to the Black theater. When I asked my grandmother, how come we couldn't go to the better one, which was the white one, she told me, no, baby, that's for the white people. We can't go over there. We got to go to the Black one. You understand? So I see racism. A lot of times people want to skate over this issue, but it's still here. Even when Trump came into office, we thought racism, well, I didn't think it was gone, but it raised its head again. And then you start seeing attacks on Black people. They were thinking they can just talk to us any kind of way and do us any kind of way because they had a president in office that didn't really speak against it, but he didn't speak for it either. You understand? So it is here. So these are the things that we need to conquer and address. So yes, when I seen that woman sitting in that situation, I was like, no, she's in pain. No, she's really dealing with this, but she's trying to save face for the sake of the royal family.
Okay.
They're trying to make a resolve, you know, or whatever.
Okay. Let me go to Leonard.
Things. We get that.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm just listening because, like I say, there's always different points of view. You know, I'm more factual, you know, about things. You know, what happened, what actually happened. You know, if I want to know how Rico feel, I don't make it up. I ask Rico, because that's where the genuine data is coming. That's the most genuine information is coming from Rico. So one, and there was when I mentioned about the appeal to the female side, it's because men don't sit around and think like that. Now, if some men do think like that, please call in, because I don't associate with men that is that emotional about those types of situations and this type of thing. So I don't know, but I'm not familiar with men who have that response to this situation. Would have that response to this situation. Because you know we more let things go over. I'm not fit to sit around there and cry because of you think that my baby's skin shade too light or dark. I mean, people say, well, who does that? Kodak Black just did the same thing on TV about a year or so ago.
Look at the baby ears.
They do it all the time.
Hey, Leonard, look at the baby ear. That'll tell you what the baby ear. That'll tell you the baby
It's hilarious to me. That's more that's more interesting than the interview. I can guarantee you the interview probably would have been. I like the product. You know, Oprah has a great product and everything. You know, she got the. You know, that's the thing. That's what makes Oprah so big, because she can get anybody.
Yeah.
You know, the sensationalism of it is for America more. They if you read their headlines and some of the things they have said about people, that racism is all on the front of their newspapers, all in their commercials. They say and do what they want over there like that. So they not as much hung up on like race so much like we are here because of what's going on.
So they don't have their hands.
Oh, they never have. That's the thing about it. They attack countries for that. That's who they are. I mean, the Queen is like one. I think of myself like how the Queen may see it. I've supervised and been a leader in a lot of different things. I don't like everybody. Okay? I don't get along with everybody. But that didn't mean I gotta say nothing nasty about you. I work with you every day. Know you hate me. And guess what? I may hate you. But we gonna work together to get it done. I'm not gonna say nothing to you because you're a subordinate. Soon as I say something, what? Oh, he being racist. Oh, he like her better. Oh, no, that's just what you think. That's just what you think. So people who are a certain way will respond a certain way. I don't sit around and talk about race every day. There's 99.8% of my other life I have to deal with.
Exactly. Now let me do this right here, because we've been talking this opening topic is taking the whole show, and we ain't got to now part of our topic for the day. So
because you didn't go there. That's why.
Oh, you gonna blame me? Blame the
black. I am gonna blame you. It's your fault. You the host.
Blame the black man.
You the king. I am blaming you.
Lord, my Jesus.
And then gonna use they're gonna use the race card. Oh.
Yeah, and then gonna act like us peasants are at fault for what he has done. Negro, please.
Lord, hey, watch out! This might end up on Oprah.
Exactly. There you go, Badger. But listen, I'm gonna ask a question, and I definitely want to go to Cassandra first on this one right here. Cassandra, you there?
I'm here.
How often is it that movies depict real life? The situation that and it may be underlying, they may be trying to tell you something that a lot of people don't get when looking at a movie, but they're telling you the reality of things that's really going on. One thing that comes to my mind is The Matrix. There's so much tied in that movie that a lot of people looked at entertainment value. What are they laughing at?
Let me.
What are they laughing at? I'm gonna spit this coffee out.
Let me start by saying this. Right before COVID, I was working on a movie with Ava DuVernay, right? And everybody know who she is. One of the most popular Black filmmakers now. Yeah. Ava DuVernay was doing a movie called I can't remember. It wasn't Containment, but whatever the name was, it was about a virus hitting the country, and everybody had to be blocked out. They blocked out New York, and you could not get in or out of New York because the virus started in New York. And so that is what the movie was. And I was one of the people that was contained in New York, and boom, 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 boom. Listen, that movie, it scared the bejesus out of most people on that set. Can I tell you that the last day that we filmed that movie, people were afraid, people were anxious, the crew was anxious, because it was the day they actually shut down the movies in Georgia.
Wow.
The very day that they shut down the movies in Georgia. It messed me up because, and check this out, let me go back 6 months before that. I did another movie in downtown Atlanta called Corden. Like, they shut off. Come on, I'm telling y'all, they shut off this particular city, this fictitious city, because there was a virus that had hit the country. Man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all think all of this just, I believe that movies, I don't know how, but I believe movies reflect a lot of the stuff. Movie makers and creators screenwriters are very creative. I don't know where some of these people get, but I have seen several times where things were happening, where things happened after I had filmed a certain movie. Nobody was talking about it. Then 6 months later, a year later, something hit. That thing with Ava DuVernay and that other movie I did, it messed me up when COVID hit. Because I was like, what the heck?
Well, we know you didn't say heck, but I appreciate you cleaning it up. We know you didn't say heck, but we understand.
I said heck.
Leonard, what's on your heart, man? Can movies depict actual life or tell a story without us?
Most definitely.
Wow.
It's about the storyteller. It's about the storyteller and how they want to tell the story. Like, say, for instance, I love Spike Lee stuff because no matter where he does, he puts a little bit in there that you always know it's Spike.
Yeah.
But the story, he wants to tell a story. See, that's why I'm not so critical of what people put out, because it's their story. They have a right to do that. But I don't believe nothing nobody says. Unless it's based on a true story, that means it's just based on a true story. If you want to see something real genuine, you go to an autobiography. That means the person that the story is about, they wrote the story. So, you know, it's this, I think I want to speak more to this absolute type behavior where everything is absolute. No, it's not. Everything is not so absolute. So everything has different points of view and all that type of thing that go with it. But like Miss Cassandra was saying, there's a little bit of life in everything.
Yeah, yeah.
The imaginations that you have today become the reality of tomorrow a lot of times. I sit around and thought about this virtual world when I was a kid because that's what I wanted. I have a friend who says, you know why I trust you more than anybody else? You told me about this 15 years ago. You told me how you was going to be doing this and how you, and look at what happened.
Yeah.
Like with every story, you got to remember the story I created by who? Human beings. Human beings who may have had a thought laying in bed one night and turned it into a movie. So it's there. I look at the artist and this, that, and the other. I don't get excited about what I put on something. I want, let me see what the artist did. Let me see what the artist did. Their point of view. I don't necessarily internalize that. That's just something that person did and how they felt on the notion that they had. And I look at like Ava DuVernay is a great writer, storyteller, and things like that. Because of how she tells her story. And that's why people love her product. Just like with Oprah. You know, the big cats come to Oprah. If you anybody, you don't come talk to Raheem, you come talk to Oprah.
Wait a minute, brother.
Like I say, Markle ain't calling you begging for no interview.
So
let's not get why it's on TV and everything confused. There's other things we could move on to. Because it's not racism ain't new. We knew that. Remember, we were talking about that before they got married.
Exactly.
So this story is going to always be there. Now we can do a show, The Royals in America, I guess. I'm pretty sure they've been pitched that show already.
That's gonna be
trust me, if the Queen did not like what was going on, people would be dead or missing. So just like you, grandmama, if that's what my grandson wants, I guess that's what it is.
Good deal. Let's go to Tiva. Tiva, what do you say to that? Does film sometimes depict real life?
I have to agree with the woman. I can't remember her name, but I would have to agree when I've seen those. Excuse me?
Cassandra,
yeah. When I seen the movie, it did make me think about the times that we're in right now. But was it fourth scene? I'm not really sure, but is it coincidental? Yes, I would say so. And as far as like the COVID that we're in, I really believe that was man-made anyhow, you know what I'm saying? And that was, just inflicted upon the people. So I'm just going to leave it right there. I do believe there was some coincidence from the movie to what's happening now, and that we could take from it as far as how to protect ourselves and things of that nature.
Good deal. Badger, what do you say to that, man? Can it depict real life?
In some situations, I've watched so many movies in my lifetime and can name a huge list. And it's interesting because I've brought up some movies to some people and I've asked them if they watched it. And, they're based on true events and things like that. And people honestly just don't want to believe it. Like there's some movies, some Native American movies that got made, or Aaron Brockovich, or about the town that had that poison water. There's people that don't want to believe any of that ever exists or it's happening now or anything like that. You know, so but movies like The Matrix and stuff, you know, I can see how it depicts.
Mm-hmm.
I might not be pronouncing that right.
You got it right.
The way society is right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I took from that movie is how the people in power have learned through psychology how to get people to think certain ways, to become sheeple.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think some people, it depends on how they watch it, where they're at, and things of that nature. Do I believe that movie is true, that we really live that way? No, but that's my opinion. But I do feel like it does have some portrayal of how certain countries run.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Tucson, what do you say to that, man? Do you think movies sometimes depict real life?
I was thinking about remember the movie Head of the State?
Yes.
Really bet $1 that in 2003, I think it was, that African American, or what y'all want to be called today, Black, African American, Negro.
Man, want to be called man. That's how they say it in the movies.
Anyway, would be president, and they bet $1. How real was that? How real is that when they thought if they took it as a joke, they just put him up there, he would, I bet you he would win. Another one saying, no, man, no, it can't be serious. And so they had him go to run for president. And lo and behold, he won. When was it that Barack Obama ran and they thought the same way? That he would one day become president. Remember? And I don't know if they had a barbecue on the lawn too.
Oh Lord.
I'm just saying.
Rico.
But you never would have thought it.
Yeah.
You never thought it. And here's one of the other things. Bart Simpson predicted that Donald Trump would be president. Think that's something.
Exactly.
And it's still a cartoon.
It's still a cartoon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rico, talk to me, brother. What do you say to this?
Yeah, it's true. You know, the thing is human beings make movies. Most people that make movies are very observant. They have to be observant and knowledgeable to make movies. They got to put correct information in there to make it believable. And some people have understood after a while that these movies, they program you and they also inspire or influence a thought process. See, the idea of Donald Trump being president was put in people's minds a long time ago. That was the only reason people probably voted on him, because number one, he was famous. Number two, he was rich and famous. And then they had already looked at him as being presidential or royal. He had a pass a long time ago to just say what he wanted to say. He was a go-to guy, and people valued his opinion on things that they shouldn't have had an opinion on. That means somewhere a long time ago, somebody said, you know what? Let's keep an eye on him. He has qualities that we like. You know, there is I want to say a people that run an undercurrent around us that we don't really pay attention to. They dictate who's going to be in certain positions and who has access, platforms for future references. You know, but most people have to be visionaries. They have to be very observant about what's going on to make the movies believable.
Yeah.
You know? So with that being said, they can also put messages that will in life to help further you. But they have to find a way to deliver that message through a storyline. So they are creative geniuses. These visionaries sometimes go on to be inventors. They might not make movies. Like what Leonard said earlier, you know how many times I've thought of something 10 or 15 years ago, And then all of a sudden, 10 or 15 years later, it comes out and it's very successful. Not only very successful, but it's world renowned. Then I think, you know what? I probably wasn't the only person thinking about it 10 or 15 years ago. It was just that somebody else had the motivation to go and make it happen. See, it's one thing to think about it, then it's another thing to be about the action to go see if you can make that happen. And that's what movie creators do. So now here it is, to our eyes, miraculously, but supernaturally, it seems like it's just something special. Something out there, and all of a sudden it comes through. Your life does imitate art, but at the same time, these producers and these writers are so aware of what could potentially happen that they write a movie about it before it happens. It's a normal person is running around here just consuming and being convenient about the most simple things, that they can't look at the bigger pictures, that an inventor, that a CEO that comes up with a company, that is an Uber CEO. Nobody has that mindset to be that person that thinks forward. Movie producers, they just forward thinkers. They are the ones that actually see what the future holds. And they feeding it to you to make you understand, hey, this is a possibility. You just don't see it because you are indulging on too many, or you're distracted by too much going on around you.
Exactly.
You looking at the movie for entertainment, but I ain't get the message.
Miss every part of it. And TV, turn the volume down on your TV, on whatever device that you're listening to. That's why the sound is overlapping, because you have two sources on the phone and on the on the device, and the sound bouncing off each other. So turn one of the volumes down. Turn the volume down on the device that you're watching us on. That way, that situation won't happen. Let's keep this thing going. I'm going to go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T, what's on your heart?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. That's why we make movies, right? To kind of tell our story, like Rico was saying. We gotta find a way to live that message. The plot of it all. But absolutely, I think if we pay attention, there are stories in it. But see, this is where it gets a little bit deeper for me, because we say and we take for granted speaking things to existence. We say and we take for granted the power we have as human beings and what we engrave in life. So I can just imagine our energies are that powerful, right? Like when Adam and Eve made that one mistake, it changed everything, right? If all of us are equally that powerful, if we all use this energy and creating it in movies, and that's what we're writing into existence, speaking to existence, killing kids and draining folks and burning folks for the energy of, we want this movie to come true, then 15 years from now, for what happened, what? I mean, because it's already being cultivated in humans anyway. It doesn't have to be the fact of the matter of actually drawing up the disease, but the spirit of the thought of that. You give somebody the thought of that. Oh, yeah. In that department, and they may, become to be the mad scientists or whatever, but I think that's what we need to think about as humans, exactly how powerful we are. And I think that some of us take it for granted. We take it for granted that all of us are kings and queens, saith the Lord, right? But then we put power in who said the king and queen was king of the queen since when? And if you need a king and a queen, you had that. I got mine, and that's the Lord. And if I focus on that, I need to build up my kingdom to capitalize. I'm not willing to build up my kingdom savagely taking things from Queen Elizabeth or Prince Harry. You understand what I'm saying? Because ultimately, that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? To grow your kingdom up, to be the best, to make your mark, and to overthrow whoever else is out there. Because that's kind of like the goal. And I think, we take granted for that. We some of us might not want to do that. So we don't get looked at as those kings and queens. But just off of the GP and watch these movies, man, hey, man, it's real, it's true. We're humans. That's what we do. We have dominion over it. And I think that when we, if we put the idea out there, if it comes up, I don't think it's by happenstance.
Exactly. And I'm looking at the feed. A lot of people are putting a lot of different movies out here that somebody just put on the Enemy of the State in 1998. Somebody put that movie up 1990. I think that's what they put. I'm trying to see it.
I still watch it. I still watch it almost once a month.
Oh, really?
I love that movie, Enemy of the State. I watch it all the time.
Okay. Let's go to K. And so there's so many different movies, man. And we'll get on here one day and we'll have a movie where we break down different things in movies about what we saw. We'll do that one day as well. We still have not y'all don't forget, but I ain't forgot about the book. We need to get that book and get one book, and we need to read it collectively as a group and have a conversation over that book. I hadn't forgot about that. And so that's something I'm very interested in doing. I hope you all are as well. K and the E, K with the E, what's on your heart? What do you see about this movie and movies being depiction of actual life?
I'm gonna say it's called pay or pay attention. And I'm stingy when it comes to paying. So I pay really close attention to everything and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they came out with the New Testament in the other movie, they came out about Christ.
Mm-hmm.
They got those that's stuff that happened. It happened in real life. It happened in the Bible. It happened in real life. This virus and all that stuff, it happened in the virus. It's happening in real life. If we think for 1 minute, if you read the word and you don't just read it, but you pray before you read it and ask for that knowledge, you can get that knowledge and wisdom out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can deal with a whole lot of things that go on in the world and around you a whole lot easier and a whole lot better with a better understanding. When the corona came, I didn't have a problem with it. I knew what to do and everything. I thank God for his coverage. I'm not going to never take a shot. Never will I take that virus shot. I'm not worried about that virus at all. I serve a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell everybody, when y'all say all single women, we ain't single, we ain't single. I tell everybody, I tell a man quick, you better talk to the creator, you trying to talk to me. Because you got to go through him to get to me. Other than that, you ain't going to have nothing but a friend for life. And I'm so serious with that. These movies is definitely made off of real life things that has happened. They can't say based off a true story, but it's true. That coronavirus is real. And man can only do what God allowed him to do. Ain't no man came over no virus. This was God's work. He got too many rebellion people against him all over the world. Is against him. We got too many non-believers. I don't use the Christian word. I use believers. We got too many non-believers. People got too much say so over it. I ain't did nothing. I don't even wake myself up myself. I ain't did nothing. I could wake up tomorrow and can't talk, can't see, can't hear, can't eat, can't smell, can't think. We ain't in control. At the end of the day, we ain't in control of nothing. And I mean nothing. When he don't want us on this radio, something comes up and we got to call back in. Sometimes we can't even get back in because we ain't in control.
Exactly. I'm gonna play this right here, and then we're gonna get back into the conversation. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to Cassandra. I want to go back to her and find out her heart. But this is something that we're doing on the 20th. Got a little clip here I want to play. You know, we're having our appreciation day. Want all y'all to come out. Want everybody that's at the sound of my voice. If you're in and around the Atlanta area, come on out and have a good time with us. Let's play this clip and y'all tell me what you think. This is your night tonight. And as y'all can tell by that clip, we are not going to be playing gospel music. So don't come out here looking for gospel music. Leonard, don't come out here thinking we're going to be playing some John P. Key. We're not going to be playing John P. Key that night. I just want to let you know. Don't come out here. I like John P. Key too. I really do. But that's not going to be on the agenda for that night. We're going to be playing a song. I'm going to play a song I'm going to dedicate to our Cassandra because I know she loved this song, that Mary J. Blige song, My Life or something like that. That song gonna get Cassandra on the floor.
That's the very first song I heard by Mary J. Blige.
My Life, yeah, that song.
And all I wanted to know was who that woman was.
You had a question.
I had just came back to the world over here because I was overseas. So I had just come back and I went to a club and I heard My Life. That's a beautiful song.
Yes, sir.
And then I just wanted to know who that person was, and it was Mary J. Blige.
And I'm gonna tell you something. If you want to get Cassandra on the dance floor, play that song. I guarantee you, she's gonna be out there. She's gonna be dropping it like it's hot.
That's a slow song.
No, it ain't.
My Life.
No, that's not My Life. What's that song, Cassandra?
Just Fine.
Huh?
Just Fine.
Oh, Just
Just
Fine.
Fine.
That's the
Yeah,
other
Just Fine.
song.
That's the
Yeah.
song I'm thinking about. Just Fine. Yeah, that's the song I'm thinking about. Just
Oh
Fine.
yeah, that's a great song right there. That's a
Yeah,
wake up song right there.
that song there get that song there get them on the floor. Look, if I want to get Cassandra on the floor, I just play that song, pump it up a little bit, and 2 seconds later she out there dancing. Even if she by herself, she gonna
That's
be
the
dancing.
hustle song. That is this song for the hustle all the time now.
What you know about the hustle, man?
Well, I mean, because I love going to the clubs.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
used to do. I used to love clubs. I still like music. I still listen to music all night.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Cassandra, can I get you on the floor with that song?
Oh, yo, you even got to get me on there. I'm gonna be on there when if I hear the first note. I'll be on the floor. The first
Because
note.
it's about Miss Cassandra. It ain't about you. It's about Miss Cassandra.
Come on now. But
listen, I just wanted to you finished. Oh, you weren't finished.
No, I was going to ask you more about, because I want to get a little deeper into this movie thing, because people don't realize how serious this is, man. And there's a lot of things tied up in movies that, and like everybody has said, or a few people have said, we overlook it. We just look at the entertainment value, but we miss the message.
Let me tell you about a movie that I did. I did Birth of a Nation with Nate Parker, the Nat Turner story. That was one of the most realistic depictions of what happened with Nat Turner back in the day when he did that revolution and killed them white folks to get out of slavery. It was prophetic because he was having visions, right? And that movie was one of the most moving movies I ever did. We cried on set almost every day.
Wow.
Nat Turner was, Nate Parker playing Nat Turner, that was a godsend. That boy did an amazing job on writing, directing, and being the main actor in that movie. And when that movie came out, right before it came out, they sabotaged it. Ain't nobody gonna tell me no different. They sabotaged that boy's movie by having a white girl come out and say that he raped her when they were in college, which that was found to be not true.
Exactly.
But it literally, that's all white people needed to hear. They killed that boy's movie. That movie didn't do anything near what it would have done, but they waited right before the movie came out to put that stuff out about him, which was not true. It was investigated back in the day, but they did it to sabotage the movie because they did not want that story told. The true story of Nat Turner, our history. That's our history. And that's why I'm proud of the different black networks. Some of them just horrible. But I'm proud of being affiliated with Bop TV now. Again, I just connected back with them because they are strictly about putting out the true stories about black people. Every channel is about black people.
That's good.
And you can get it. And you can get it. It comes on Roku.
On Roku, yeah.
Absolutely, good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, man? We talk about these the depiction of what movies and how it actually tells a real story. And if we just stop, I'm not gonna say don't entertain, don't enjoy the movie, but don't just look at the entertainment value. Grab onto the story because like you said earlier, Leonard, these storytellers are trying to tell you a story. They're trying to tell you something, but far too often we miss it.
Well, I mean, not that you just miss it. I mean, what they're trying to tell you may not just be as important to you. It's just a movie. It's just never should your life take second to a movie. I mean, don't put the movie in front of your reality. You can watch things and enjoy them. Like, okay, that's pretty good. Matter of fact, you can see somebody make the same movie about tell the same story a different way, from a different point of view. Like she was talking about I think someone was talking about, Miss K was talking about the movies about the New Testament and all this.
Yeah.
You can watch a network that shows John has a movie on Netflix. The Apostle Paul got one on that, So everybody's now telling these stories. And if you don't really are not open and understanding about things, and see, I look forward to learn things. I'm not always trying to interject what I feel about something. I like to hear what other people have to say. I can listen to my own self all day if I want to. But I love hearing what other people have to bring, whether or not I agree with it or not, you know. But at least it's their story. I just expect you to tell the story to the best of your knowledge. You know, fiction is what it is. That's why when I want the real thing, I go for nonfiction.
Yeah.
You know, there are certain things like science fiction movies and things like that, because, you know, people who love science fiction movies usually were people who think about the future a lot. You know, like I say, I probably won't fly in a spaceship, but maybe my son will. You know, I'll maybe probably never leave Earth's atmosphere.
You mean you're not taking that trip to Mars, man? They trying to get people lined up for that trip to Mars. You're not taking that. You're not taking that journey.
No. I mean, I don't see no reason why I would. I don't want to go nowhere where white folk control oxygen.
Wow.
Because I don't trust them that much. Okay. So
come on,
we have to understand. You know, everything. You know, it's amazing to me how people look at a movie and think somebody ought to wrote the movie the way you wanted it to be written. That's crazy.
That's Monday morning quarterbacks, brother.
Well, they shouldn't have told it like that. They can tell it how you want to, how they want to. Now, if you want a story told a certain way, then you tell it.
Yeah.
Spike don't owe you nothing.
There's your computer right there. Get the right. Get the right. Get the right.
Right. So we have to, you know,
Go ahead, Leonard.
We have to be more, you know, open. Take it in first, all of it, before you just jump out there and say something right or wrong or good or bad or whatever. Because think about it. It ain't about you.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying a second ago. You know, those people are mainly the observant people that have the will and the motivation to get up and make stuff happen. Some people make movies. Sometimes they actually get into the field and they develop technology. They get influenced to want to go to Mars, you know. And I'm gonna tell you how the universe works. A lot of times when you have this idea, this whirlwind idea that's gonna change and revolutionize things, somebody on the other side of the world probably seeing the same thing because of the potential and the opportunity that is there. The opportunity available for progress if you are thinking about progress. If you are observant enough to say, okay, yeah, I am enjoying this technology that we have. I am enjoying these movies. But now that I've got this information, we can go further than this. Visionary. Some people are not visionary. Some people just like to look at things for entertainment and they can't get the message out of nothing. Some people get a message out of Finding Nemo. A couple of weeks ago, somebody talked about the message that was in that.
Great movie.
So, I mean, you know, there's always a message in it. And the thing is we don't respect this entertainment to realize that we get influenced a lot unconsciously by this information that we're getting from this entertainment. Look at what Tyler Perry did. Tyler Perry had women walking around here wanting to be holy and think right. They were quoting everything he was saying left and right. They almost started believing Motherville was real. He became a household name. Why did Tyler Perry become so famous? Because of the positive message. He actually did change the way a lot of people carried themselves. It took his comedy. He knew how to deliver that message to have an effect on people. And he would tell you, my product, I had the dream to do this product because I knew I could have an effect on people. True enough, y'all gonna get entertained, but some of y'all gonna get this message and you're gonna wake up and you're gonna do something better with your life. You're going to love your sister, your brother, your mama. You're going to go and see them and get them their flowers before they die. Because my dear said so, Lawrence.
And
you got to get a laugh out of it to get a good message. Go ahead and get a laugh out of it. You got to get tricked. I told you before, I don't mind screwing people into doing right. Because some of us have to be mind screwed, especially being that this TV and this computer, we don't realize just what the job is of that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to Tiba. Absolutely. Tiba, what's on your heart? Tiba, you there? Told you with a T, talk to me.
Yes, I'm just listening and agreeing with, you know, most of the comments that were going on. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, I was just saying that I was just enjoying everything that everybody was saying and just agreeing with everything. But as far as messages coming from movies and everything, pretty much. I get an echo. I'm sorry. Echoing.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, I just look at movies for entertainment. I don't look at it for a message, but if I do get a message out of it, then I will accept that. But mostly for me, I like to look at movies that are. I like to look at movies that are inspirational, that are, true, have truth to it and everything like that, in comedy. So I don't really look at it for a message.
Okay.
But if I get one out of it, then yes, I'll take it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Toya with a T, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Speak back in your phone like you did last time. It's low again. But sister, talk to me. Let me ask you a question, Toya. Princess and the Frog, was there a message tied up in that movie?
I think absolutely. Depends on how you look at it. When we create art, it's always a message behind it. The creator is always doing it with a message. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we can put it in a way where we can understand it. Kissing the ugly and reviving it. True love being the thing that can restore any kind of curse or implicitness or whatever. You know what I mean? But not only that, but there's multiple stories, probably white color, that implicate the same thing. The only difference is a fairy tale happens for black people too now when you put a black face on it. You know what I'm saying? But absolutely, I think there's something to that. I think there's an underlying message, if you want to take it, of love, and of love restoring and healing and breaking any curses. But it can also be influenced to be looked at a bad way too. Because when you talk about the Princess and the Frog, let's talk about Disney with their subliminal messages that in the background, what they spell out and the things that it shows that are subliminally affecting our kids. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that whoever the creator is, they're human, right? And they need to understand that we are the gatekeepers of that. We draw following behind our art. And we have to be mindful that, it changes minds, but absolutely that doesn't have an underlying message.
Absolutely. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Morning Glow family. What's going on? This is Kurt, man. Chop City.
Kurt. Hey, Kurt, asking a question. Asking a question, man. I want to hear your heart on this, man. We're talking about movies, and can movies really depict life? Is there a lot of time message in movies that sometimes people look at the entertainment value, but they miss the message?
All the time. All the time. I think there was some mixed messages in A Night in Miami. You hear folks talking about it, and when you hear folks talking about it, oh man, it's a really nice film, blah 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 blah. But they don't talk about the idea that whoever wrote that film took four brothers from two totally different, from almost the same backgrounds, but four brothers with four totally different mindsets, and put them in a room and showed you what a conversation would be. So we got caught up in, well, I'm on Malcolm's side, or I'm on Brown's side, or I'm on Sam Cooke's side, or I'm on Muhammad Ali's side, not realizing that in all reality, if you was for one, you should be for all. Hollywood has done, Spike Lee told us filmmakers what Hollywood was doing. But he told us that to knock other filmmakers and told us not to do it. And then he turned around and did the same thing. Spike Lee said that black writers, black producers have to be careful because the studios will take a black film, and this is no disrespect to my Caucasian American brothers, but the studios will take a black film and turn it into a white film. And if you don't pay attention, you won't even see that they have made adjustment on the film. Such films like Training Day was done in Training Day, and Spike Lee, after putting the message out, then turned around and did the same thing that he warned us of. He turned around and did it in Miracle at Santa Ana. So I was a little like, wow, Spike, like, hold on. You just told us not to do this as Black filmmakers, and then you turned right around and you did it. Same thing with the last film, the film that he won the Oscar for, which was a really good film. But he did the same thing that he warned us not to do, which is the Black Klansman film. If you really sat down and watched that film, the film is about how a Black man infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan.
Yes.
Correct? However, if you watch the film and watch the movements of the film as far as who's getting the camera time, who's not getting the camera time, the dialogues, the intricacies of cultural understandings, you find that the film has a tendency to drift more towards the Klanman side and point of view and what's going on with the Klan than it does the actual process of this Black man tricking the Klan.
Yeah.
So, all the time. Finally, I had a friend of mine on Facebook. She posted something, and I don't think a lot of people really watched it because we know her to be a really kind of stern person, you know what I mean, real spiritual individual. And she saw something on the Cartoon Network that moved her spirit so much that when she posted, she was in tears and she was cursing up a storm. It was a cartoon where a little Black kid was walking down the street. The Black kid jaywalked. He was crossing the street and he jaywalked. Most of us don't pay no attention to the crosswalk. We just cross when we can go. And the police, which was these white police, saw him. And they chased him down and beat him and shot him and this, that, and the third. And she was so disturbed by that because she had walked in a room and that's what her son was watching. So we have to be very, very careful. And it's been going on for years. It's just like when you get the Moses story. When they tell the Moses story, the Exodus, even back to the 60s,
Wrap it up for me, Curtis.
You have all these Caucasian brothers and sisters who are playing these characters, and we know the ancient Egyptians wasn't white. We know that. You know what I mean? So it's mixed signals in it all the time. Lastly, Raheem, I'll say this: there's a show called Aida. Aida is about the war between the Nubian people and the Egyptians. Well, we did Aida here with the Art Centric, and we did an all black cast because Art Centric is predominantly a Black theater troupe. We won. We was the best musical in the DMV area and tri-state area for 8 weeks in a row. The #1 musical, right? When I did the research, guess what? That show has never been done with an all-black cast. It's always been done with predominantly an all-white cast and maybe one character being Black. Well, why is that when the war, the show is about the war between the Nubian people and the Egyptians?
Okay.
So, it happens all the time, bro.
Absolutely. Let's go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I almost thought you forgot about me.
Man, go ahead and talk, man.
That clip I sent you called The Chosen. This new series that they're making and stuff, I think plays a huge factor into a lot of what we're talking about right now. And the betrayal of certain things. I think media plays a huge factor in the way people think. And that's something I was trying to bring up earlier between, the stuff that was being talked about with the Queen, between versus, people having issues with music, movies, and things of that nature. Like, it always seems like, if there's limitations of what's allowed by one group of people, but it's
Mhm.
acceptable by another group of people. And that's something that I just have a really hard time understanding.
Mhm.
You know, if you're going to talk about facts, then do your best to portray those facts in the best way possible, including portraying the proper actors.
Mm.
So it's just, I mean, that's my opinion, and it's just something that always profound me. Like even with what I was sharing with you, you know, it's predominantly particular types of people that are portraying this kind of stuff, and a lot of things that they're taking and using, I think is going to cause a lot of mixed messages
Mhm.
because they're using what the norm is, and I don't feel like they're 100% speaking or using it to change the way a lot of people think.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Once again, I think we just have to really go back to the basics after we hear all these headlines about the royal family, and then we start talking about the impact of movies. I think we have to sit back and think about the basic function of human beings and how we receive information, how it affects us and impacts us. We have to respect the power of subliminal messages. Like with those Disney movies, I put it in the group and or in this chat, and then I put it on Facebook. Disney had a huge episode of different movies from the past and recent movies that had artwork in the background that looked like penises. I mean, just all kind of little stuff that was that really truly a child would pick up on. They see us familiar. Look, people walk around and look at clouds and say, "Look, that was a face. Look at that butterfly."
Yeah. Yeah.
Now imagine what they're doing with the smoke coming off a candle on Lion King. So those, and guess what? People actually intentionally put those subliminal messages in there. So Linda said something earlier about how people like to go back and say, they should have did a movie like this. They should have did a movie like that. And sometimes I catch myself saying, well, I ain't like the way that ended. They should have did that a little different. It ended wrong. But then I go back and I ask myself, why? Why did they put that picture of that penis coming from that smoke from that candle on there in this kid's movie? These women in this Pinocchio movie doing this sort of suspicious stuff. Now, when you're young or if you're an adult, it's just a cartoon. A video game, Grand Theft Auto. A simple-minded parent will look at it and say, it's just a video game. But do you know what they're doing in that video game? The same thing they canceling these cartoons for because of the subliminal messages, the rape culture with Pepe Le Pew. What about the subliminal message for the man that's raping the prostitute he don't want to pay her on Grand Theft Auto just for the heck of it? So, I mean, those subliminal messages, that programming, listen here, man, this computer does not shut off even when you sleep. You can be, I'm going to tell you what happened one time. I know it's getting a little long. When Anna Nicole Smith died and when Terrell Owens so-called tried to commit suicide, I that morning on third shift, went to sleep with the TV on and heard everything they talked about to the point when I woke up, I was fully informed. I did not wake up one time to listen to nothing they was talking about. It was just a breaking news over and over every hour, every 30 minutes. Football player Terrell Owens tries to commit suicide. The sad, shocking death of Anna Nicole Smith. I heard all of that while I was asleep, so I was able to repeat everything about this woman after I woke up. So we got to respect that because we think we have a certain control of our brain, but we don't even realize unconsciously the behaviors and the information that we pick up without realizing that other people are intending for us to see this. We're going to throw this little penis in this smoke for these kids to see and make them wonder, ooh, that look like a little ding-a-ling.
Exactly.
Cartoon. So we have to pay attention to that because it ain't all about entertainment.
That's good. Cassandra, I'm going to ask you a question, then we're going to get on out of here. Cassandra, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any messages, because this is one of my favorite movies of all times, and I might have missed something, and I need you to help me, educate me on this right here. The original, I'm talking about the original, A Raisin in the Sun.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, there was so many messages in The Reason and the Sun. I mean, the whole movie was comprised of different messages, whether it was about pursuing your dreams, being persistent in, what you want, how we make mistakes, one mistake we make, one bad decision can affect the whole family. It was so much in that movie. That's why I believe it is still critically acclaimed to this day. It is still critically acclaimed to this day. The message is still relevant for this day.
Exactly.
So there were, we could have learned so much from that movie. But the bottom line is family should stick together. Family should support family. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff, but it was all great messages in that movie, whether it was a negative or positive. There were great messages.
And Cassandra, can I say one more thing to you before we get out of here? Not that money, not that money. Boy, when he said that line, boy, that man, look here, it was so serious, but it was funny at the same time. He said, no, not that money, not that money. Wow.
All of them made Oscar winning. They should have won Oscars, Emmys, everything for those performances. All of them.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Yes.
Right.
Kurt, talking to your phone, brother. We can barely hear you. Kurt, we can barely hear you, brother. We can barely hear you.
Hey, I said she is absolutely right. I was cast as Walter Lee. Let me tell you, the one thing about that show is that actor truly, whoever plays Walter Lee, truly has to be prepared to leave it all on stage. He goes through such a range of emotions, and there's so many different feelings about the different things that's going on just in the society alone, just in that part of culture alone, that you gotta be able to turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off within seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Sydney, go ahead, Sandra.
No. What I wanted to say was one of the messages that we need to remember is still happening today is those white people literally went to him and said, "We will pay you not to move into our neighborhood."
Yeah.
It's still subliminally, that message is still there. Are areas in Georgia where those white people tell those real estate agents, "I want to sell my house, but I don't want you to sell it to a black person." So those things are still prevalent today.
Wow. See, that's that's the sad reality right there. Toya, what to you with us?
Yes, sir.
What's on your heart, sis? We're going to get out of here. What's on your heart? Speaking to your phone for me.
Absolutely, man. Amen. Listen, let me tell you something. Love it. I love y'all so much. Just for the open dialogue, man. Again, for a platform just to be able to discuss issues from different point of views. Again, I just know it's touching somebody, man. So I hope anybody that's out there listening, man, make sure y'all call in with your questions, comments, and concerns, man. But these are the conversations. Appreciate you, Raheem, so much. Appreciate and love all of y'all, man, for coming with your feedback. And thank y'all, man. And hopefully, we change your lives. But y'all have a good day, man.
And I see all y'all on the 20th. I see all y'all on the 20th. I'm looking for y'all on the 20th. Toya, did you make it to New York?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. How's the climate?
I'll be coming back the 19th. I'll be back the day before because I'm not going to be trying to do all that in one day. So I'll be back the 19th so I can be rested up for the 20th.
Cool. Now, how's the climate there? Everything okay?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's shocking. It's colder than Georgia, but hey, it's not bad. It could be worse. It could be snow all over the place, but just starting to melt. You know what I'm saying? But it's sunny, it's bright, man. It's good. Good.
Not that money. Oh, excuse me. I love that line, man. I love that line. I was waiting on an opportunity I could put that in, man, because that's a powerful line right there, man, because that was his breaking point. He felt like he had let everybody down, man. And then when Mama came in there and she slapped him, boy, look here. There are so many scenes in that movie. That and another movie I like, and we're going to get out of here. Lynn, I'm going to come to you. what is so I think it's A Soldier Story. I love that movie too, man. A Soldier Story. There's so much time in that. That's the one we did in the military, right?
Yep, that was a powerful movie.
Yeah. I love that movie, man. Love it. Leonard, man, what's on your heart, brother? And tell us what's going on at 3:00 today.
If you did not get a chance to hear the show in its entirety, log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3:00 Eastern today.
Good deal. K with an E. Pray us out, sis.
Father God, we come to you with bowed heads and humble hearts. We come to you with thanks, Father God. We thank you for this broadcast. We thank you for our hosts. We thank you for the participants. We thank you for our listeners. Father God, if we had 10,000 tongues, we couldn't thank you enough. We ask you to continue to keep each and every last one of us as we leave this line. We ask you to just let us do what you have us to do. Talk your way, walk your way, and love on each other. We ask you to continue to lift up all of those that have any fallen down, Father God. Any of us on the line have any fallen down. Looking in our sick and shut in, Father God, our homeless, the incarcerated, Father God. And we thank you and we ask that this prayer be heard in your sweet Son, Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen.
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 It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and the associates and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It is now 10:04. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. We shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You'll have a great day. Take an opportunity, if you don't mind, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Love you and love each other. Rico, what you doing, man?